There's a guy on my street, you know him well. He's the life of the block, got stories to tell. With a smile so wide and a heart so kind, if you ever need help, he's the first you'll find. Oh, neighbor Pete, you make life sweet with your lawn so green and your friendly greet. You lend a hand and share your tools in this crazy world. You break all the rules. Oh, neighbor Pete, you're one of a kind. In this neighborhood, you're the best we can find. Every Sunday morning he brings fresh baked bread, and when the kids are playing he's their safety thread. With a laugh that echoes and a heart of gold, in times of trouble his strength never folds. Oh, neighbor Pete, you make life sweet with your lawn so green and your friendly greet. You lend a hand and share your tools in this crazy world. You break all the rules. Oh, neighbor Pete, you're one of a kind. In this neighborhood, you're the best we can find. Sunday morning he brings fresh baked bread, and when the kids are playing he's their safety thread. With a laugh that echoes and a heart of gold, in times of trouble his strength never folds. Oh, neighbor Pete, you make life sweet with your lawn so green and your friendly greet. You lend a hand, you share your tools in this crazy world. You break all the rules. Oh, neighbor Pete, you're one of a kind. In this neighborhood, you're the best we can find. From barbecues in summer to snowball fights, he's the guy you call on the coldest nights. With a spirit so bright like a guiding light, in a world that's rushing he makes everything right. Oh, neighbor Pete, you make life sweet with your lawn so green and your friendly greet. You lend a hand and share your tools in this crazy world. You break all the rules. Oh, neighbor Pete, you're one of a kind. In this neighborhood, you're the best we can find. So here's to you, Pete. Let the whole world see how amazing you are, just how great you can be. A neighbor, a friend, someone we admire. You lift us all up and set our hearts on fire. Oh, neighbor Pete, you'll brighten our days. In this little corner, you're the hero always.
Good evening, race fans. Welcome here to Darlington Raceway for tonight's race number 1 of 2 on the doubleheader night here. It's the I Wanna Be Neighbor Pete evening in the RevLimit Workshop Development Series presented by DesignPing. My name is Robert Hill Jr., standing in for William White here tonight. Alayton Norgard will join me on the call as well. He's just taking care of a couple of race control duties, but nonetheless, a great evening here at at Darlington ahead, and then we'll head to Iowa to wrap up the doubleheader here for rounds number 5 and 6 of the RevLimit Workshop Development Series. As you can see on your screen, ambient temperatures currently 80 degrees Fahrenheit with track temps over 110 degrees, 114 to be exact. So it's going to be a little bit slippery out there as we head on down. We're going to take a look at your starting grid this evening, and rolling off on the pole, it's Gavin Hibbs alongside Sean Leisure in row number 1. Jay Connor and Justin Vandermarl going to make up row number 2. Corey Abbott and Kill Pocock in row 3. Row 4 belongs to Dominic Wright and Frank Fody, with Michael Hossack and Alec Daffin rounding out the top 10. Row number 6, Andrew Hardcastle and Dave Carpenter. Alayton, are you back with us?
I am. In 13th, we've got Jacob Adams, Joe Francis in 14th, Timothy Watson qualified 15th, but has an EOL for lack of banner. Harrison Talon in 16th, Jay Nursemus 17th, Noah Brown in 18th, Chris Albrecht in 19th, and 20th is Josh Clark. 21st is Scott Shive, that's another banner EOL. Gavin Higgins in 22nd, Carlos Acosta in 23rd, and Caleb Cumer in 24th.
Starting 25th tonight is Dusty Dragon Doer alongside Gavin Grubbs, who I believe will be going to the rear with a banner violation as well. Logan Borman, I believe another one of those EOL drivers in 27th. Kurt Gibson, 28th. David Woods and Miguel Carrera rounding out the top 30. Shea Mitchell and Connor Thompson in row 16. Row 17 belongs to Drew King and Dave Huckleberry, with Mitch Xavier and Josh Osborne rounding out your top 36. The rest of your field, Pierce Hausler, Austin and Abnett, and Cole Bear. Why don't we go ahead and get some race picks in here? Alayton, we'll go ahead and start with you. Who's your pick to get it done here tonight at Darlington in race number 1 of this doubleheader?
I think I'm going to go with a new pick for me. I guess he's an old elite guy, but the 49 of Sean Leisure.
Sean Leisure, a very solid pick there. He's starting second. I am going to go a couple rows behind him. Kill Pocock going to get it done in car number 6. As the pace car is off, we're getting set to go green here for the first time this evening as the field comes down the front straightaway. The flagman has the green flag waving, and we're underway. Looks like we had a bobble there towards the rear of the field. A couple of those drivers at the tail get knocked out of the way. Look like someone just got up into the outside wall. That was the 60 of Austin and Abnett right there as well. But he is going to be A-OK. Is Gavin Higgins going to be involved in this? Caleb Pecumer also going to get a piece of this one. David Woods involved. Josh Osborne going to be involved in this one. A couple of these guys with some heavy damage. Carlos Acosta does a nice job of avoiding it. Dave Huckleberry, I believe, going to miss this one as well. So I'll go ahead and walk you through the incident as Alayton takes care of race control duties. And we'll see what just happened here as Gavin Higgins going to get up into the outside wall, bounces off the wall into the right rear of Carlos Acosta, sends him around. Caleb Pecumer into the back of him. David Woods, nowhere to go, piles into the middle. Shea Mitchell into the back of him. Nice avoidance there by, I believe that was the 61 of Pierce Hausler, getting through without too much damage. Pecumer comes back up the track, actually might collect a couple of cars here, including his teammate Austin and Abnett. So let's take a look at this one. Just a quick gander, because there could be potential issues coming from this one. There was contact there. Was that Dave Huckleberry that maybe got a piece of that? Yes, it was. So Pecumer decides he's going to get going, actually gets into Dave Huckleberry in the 52 machine, sends Dave into the wall. Austin and Abnett going to get a piece of that as well. Scott Shive just behind. So a couple of these guys with issues early on and going to have to work their way to pit lane to get these cars fixed up, as Alayton has rejoined us, I do believe. Alayton, what's the call here on caution number 1 if you have that?
Yeah, that's going to be a tally on Gavin Higgins in the 20. Just like you said, got up into the wall and went down into the O2 of Acosta and just kind of snowballed from there.
Unfortunately, it's something that's common here at Darlington Raceway. You get up into that outside wall, sometimes it just releases you in a less than ideal spot. So we'll keep our eyes peeled the rest of this race and see what happens. These guys aren't out of it quite yet, but a lot of it will depend on, do they have steering damage? Is the suspension broken? Are they going to be able to rotate through these already naturally tight corners? So we'll keep our eyes peeled, see what develops here in race number 1 of the I Wanna Be Pete doubleheader at Darlington and Iowa. Yes, a very interesting mix there. The guy making the schedule decided to throw the cards into the wind and see where they landed here tonight. That's where it's led us as we currently pace the field here. Gavin Hibbs, Sean Leisure, row number 1. Justin Vandermarl and Jake Connor, row 2. Corey Abbott into that 5th spot. Gil Pocock is outside. So a couple of those Abbott Motorsports cars going to make up row number 3. A couple guys to watch here as well, I think, tonight. Alayton looking deeper in the field. You got to go with Jaden Racimus. That's a guy that's really taken that step forward over the last couple of seasons. I think he might have something to say, particularly at Iowa tonight. Noah Brown, driver the number 65, another strong contender for later on. Josh Clark, of course, a winner earlier this season. And guys like Connor Thompson all the way towards the rear. They've also shown some improvements this year, so we'll see what they can do. But coming back to the green flag, Hibbs on the bottom, Leisure on the top, and it's a leisurely start for Sean in the 49. He does not get going the way the rest of the field was hoping he would, and that's going to allow Justin Vandermarl to take a look down to his inside as we'll quickly jump towards the rear. Just make sure the whole field gets through. And they do not. Dave Huckleberry going to go around, cautions out again.
I couldn't see who that second car was, but yeah, that's these guys need to have some more give and take into turn 1 here. More give than take, really. That's the 81 of Scott Shiv.
Looking at this one again, you watch Dave Huckleberry there. He's alongside the 5 of Logan Borman. Shive sticks the nose in, hooks that left rear of Huckleberry, sends him around, gives Huck a little bit of a shuck there, and sends him full circle. I don't believe anyone's going to get any major damage in this incident. They should be able to continue on. Austin and Abnett was collected late in this wreck, but does look to be okay as well, as does Dave Huckleberry. And Scott Shive looking okay as well, but likely I'm going to assume maybe going to pick up a tally on this one. Could be a racing deal. That's all going to be up to Alayton, of course, in this one, but we'll keep our eyes and ears peeled for that as we work lap number 7 of 75. So almost 10% of the way through. We should make pretty good time here at Darlington, even though the green flag percentage not looking like it's trending in the right direction at this point, but this field is known to sometimes clean it up a little bit later on.
Yeah, if we can get through the first lap here and just let cars single file out, I think we'll have a good shot at a good run here. I am thinking there's going to be a tally on the 81 of Scott Shive. He was almost making contact with Dave the entire way around from the time he decided to stick his nose out to when he actually turned him. So yeah, it's close to a racing deal, but I think I was just too aggressive of a move for the situation.
And sometimes tallies are not necessarily to put blame or negativity towards a driver. It's also a matter of lessons learned. And with this being a development series, it's kind of to tell the guy, hey, maybe next time give a little bit more space. Don't throw it in as deep, and just give each other room out there. Respect each other and just go for that. Not go for more than you need to take at the time. And that's what some of these guys tend to forget from time to time. And of course, this is the RevLimit Workshop Development Series presented by DesignPing. Check out RevLimit Workshop over on X for all of your graphical needs, from logos to business websites and everything in between. check out RevLimit Workshop on X. And of course, DesignPing also on board here with us. It's another design agency that specializes in creating websites and digital content that not only look incredible, but also enable your business to outperform all of your competitors. Make sure you check out DesignPing.com to learn more. We'll hear from our friends at Worldwide Technology Raceway and Blue Ake Marketing a little bit later on as we get set to go green once again. If you're watching in the YouTube chat, let us know who you're cheering for. Neighbor Pete over there says it's a banger. Loving it. Motor sound too loud, says Austin Sally. Well, Austin Sally, we'll turn that down a little bit for you there, big dog. As we get set to go green this time, Gavin Hibbs, Sean Leisure, Jay Connor, Justin Vandermeer, Corey Abbott, the top 5 as they come down the front straight away. They're leaning on each other. They're grinning. They're sitting, and we're backing away here on lap number 9 of Be Neighbor Pete night in the RevLimit Workshop Development Series presented by DesignPing, as we already have cars up in the outside wall. Issues for Dave Huckleberry as he's not able to get that machine under fire in this early stages, but we do have a battle already. Never mind, it doesn't matter. Shea Mitchell and company go around. That is the 88 of Kirk Gibson and the 08 of Shea Mitchell as we're under caution for the 3rd time here tonight. Let's take a look, see what happens. I think Gibson might come off the wall here, or does Mitchell come up? Yeah,
it looks like Mitchell comes up. There is some net code there.
There is some net code, but I'm not sure that there would have been enough room for them to exit the corner without that contact anyways. As you take a look, let's see if we can go high above. That's not above. That's kind of beside. That would have been tight here, Alayton on exit between Shea Mitchell and Kirk Gibson anyways. Sends the Gibson machine around Shea Mitchell. Also involved in this one. As we work caution number 3 on lap number 10, we're going to quickly step aside just to play with the audio just a little bit, but when we come back, we'll have a ruling on caution number 3 here at Darlington. Don't go anywhere.
3 years of sellout crowds, 3 years of edge of your seat action, 3 years of jaw-dropping finishes. Worldwide Technology Raceway has rocked the world of NASCAR, and now NASCAR is giving us another reason to celebrate. The 2025 NASCAR Cup Series Championship playoffs are coming Sunday, September 7th, 2025. Just when you thought the racing couldn't get any more intense, now every single lap matters. One wrong move could be the difference between elimination and being crowned the king. The Enjoy Illinois 300, the Confluence Music Festival, the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs, and for the first time in 15 years, the NASCAR Xfinity Series on Saturday, September 6th. Don't be on the outside looking in. See history being made in your own backyard. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
And we're back here at Darlington. Alayton Norgard, what's the call on caution number 3, sir?
Kind of like we were talking about. I gave Shea Mitchell the tally on that one in the 08. Just pushed out on corner exit a bit too much. There was net code, but I think there still was going to be contact. Kurt would have had to be right on the wall, and I mean, that's not a comfortable place to be on restart on the exit of a corner.
So we had a question in the YouTube chat asking, where's Brandon Ultra? Well, Brandon, unfortunately, I believe missed the cutoff for signups, and the ruling was made by series administrator Dave Huckleberry not to allow additional entries this evening as the roster continues to be full here in the RevLimit Workshop Development Series presented by DesignPing, but we do hope to see Brandon Ultra back on the racetrack in the coming weeks. But back to this one this week, 12 laps in, a bunch of cautions and laps to go here, Alayton. It's Gavin Hibbs, Sean Leisure, Jay Connor, Justin Vandermeer, Corey Abbott in the top 5, Frank Fody, Michael Hasek, Cale Pocock, Dominic Wright, Alec Daffin, the rest of your top 10 as they come off turn number 4. Bring us back to green here, Alayton.
Waiting to get in the restart zone, and they're going. Gavin Hibbs with a good jump. Sean decent. He stays ahead of Jay Connor into turn one. Justin Vandermeer gets another good jump. He's alongside Jay, too wide for third place here. Jay kind of backs out. I like to see that, avoiding contact there up in the front. But he's lost almost 3 spots for that. I think he'll hold on to that third one over Frank Foti, having the bottom to 3 and 4 here.
And we will make it a lap here for the first time tonight on lap number 14. And I see cars dropping back. It scares me a little bit as we see Noah Brown catching up here to Dave Carpenter. That's your battle for the 17th position. They're currently chasing down Dustin Doerr and Harrison Talon that are battling for 15th. But we'll go back towards the front of the field where Gavin Hibbs leads over Sean Leisure. Vandermarl in that third spot as it's side by side, just a little bit behind him here. Frank Foti and Jay Connor duking it out for position. Looks like Timothy Watson having a little bit of a connection issues. We have one in the outside wall. I believe that to be Alec Daffin that's trying the aggressive maneuvers up there on the high side, see what he can do to potentially get up there and get into play. And actually, I do apologize. That's Cale Pocock that was sticking his Pocock up into the outside wall to try to get on by.
Yeah, he was on the outside in 1 and 2 last lap. This lap he's going to be on the inside, see if he can get that spot back from Alec Daffin. One person that I do want to mention, you were talking about drivers to watch for a little earlier, is actually Joe Francis in the 56, and we've got another yellow.
And it's Kirk Gibson involved in this one again. Let's see what happened here to Kirk Gibson. Oh, as that is Pierce Hausler into the outside wall. Hausler goes for a slide and collects Kirk Gibson on exit of that incident. I think that's pretty cut and dry. That's probably going to be a tally on the 61 of Pierce Hausler. Actually, let's take another look at that real quick, because was there contact? No. Yeah, Hausler just gets into the outside wall, unfortunately loses it, collects the 88 of Kirk Gibson, and that sends both of them for a bit of a ride. I don't know that Gibson's going to have too heavy of damage, but he will end up losing a lap here to your leaders, Gavin Hibbs and Sean Leisure.
Yeah, it looks like Pierce just kind of overcooks the entry there and can't quite keep it turned off the wall and bounces down instead. Not a whole lot Kirk could have done there.
Interestingly enough, we have pit stops underway here. Gavin Hibbs, Justin Vandermarl, Corey Abbott, Frank Foti, Alec Daffin, Andrew Hardcastle, Dominic Wright, Joe Francis, Harrison Talon, Noah Brown, Drew King, Pierce Hausler, Austin Anabnik, Colbert, and Gavin Higgins all down pit lane. That's going to mean your new top 10 is Sean Leisure, Jay Connor, Jacob Adams, who's been on the move here so far, Cale Pocock, Michael Hossack, the top 5, then Jaden Racimus, Dustin Doerr, Dave Carpenter, Josh Clark, and Connor Thompson, the top 10. Interesting that these guys made that decision to come down pit lane, but gotta wonder, potentially with the fuel, can they make it from this point? Is that why they opted to come down pit lane?
That is something that I like to check before races, but I forgot to do that tonight. But I would guess that is probably the case here. We are 18 laps in, a little under 60 laps to go. So that sounds about right for a fuel run. And I mean, tires are always a big deal here too. Even a 5-lap difference can make a lot of difference in pace. So it's a lot of track position to give up, but we'll see if that can pay off for him.
And I'm just going to throw this in here, Alayton. I know there was a couple people that are taking part in this race that also wanted to follow along with the NHL playoffs happening this evening. The Ottawa Senators Toronto Maple Leafs game is going on right now, game number 5 of the series. And after one period of play, they are tied at 0, but Ottawa will be on a power play beginning period number 2. So hopefully they get out there, score a power play goal, and get that lead in game number 5. Alayton Norgard, a big Ottawa Senators fan, folks. Right,
Oh,
Alayton?
I'm a huge hockey fan. I could name probably 3 teams.
Name them all. Let's go. Get started.
Ottawa Senators,
Yeah.
um, Detroit Red Wings, Chicago Blackhawks,
Yeah.
Minnesota Wild.
There you go. There's
I'm probably
4.
done.
And we're back.
San Jose Sharks.
And we're back under green. And you did name another team there. Good job. Dave Huckleberry dropping to the inside on the start here. Looks like issues for car 52. Issues for Corey
Corey Abbott as well. I'm not sure what's going on
Josh
there.
Osborne with an issue as well. Alayton, gotta wonder, did these guys come together on that restart? I didn't see anything there, but something definitely amiss for a couple of guys here in Osborne, Abbott, and Huckleberry.
Looks like there was some contact between Gavin Hibbs and the 5 of Logan Borman on that restart that pushed the 5 down in front of Corey.
Oh! Hit to the outside wall for Jay Connor. He's going to be okay, able to continue on, but definitely a little bit of extra damage and might hinder the handling of car 9. As looks like everyone going to get single filed out here. Just taking a look a little bit towards the tail of the top 10. Dave Carpenter, Josh Clark, Chris Albrecht all here together. Looks like, a big hit to the outside wall right there for, I believe that to be Carlos Acosta. Yes, it is. Acosta going to lose a handful of spots, including to Scott Shive and Gavin Hibbs, that are both going to go on by him, but we will stay clean. We will stay green as we have a battle between Miguel Carrera and Caleb Pecumer. The 51 going to get into the outside wall. That's Carrera in the RK Motorsports entry. So not a good couple laps here for the Carlos Acosta owned RK Motorsports as they find 2 of their cars in the outside wall in Carrera and Acosta here. As these guys are battling hard, Carrera continues to make contact with that outside wall. Maybe he's trying to get that car to turn a little bit, but it's probably going to stop turning if he hits the wall anymore.
Yeah, I ran some laps in practice, and this car can take some pretty decent hits on corner exit without damage, but there's a very fine line, and then it starts accumulating wheel damage, and at that point you're going to be looking at some trouble. Don't want to have that happen. Gavin Hibbs already back up into 11th, almost turns the 11 of Chris Albrecht, but they managed to keep it straight. That was not a very good move there. That's what I don't like with these split strategies. Sometimes you get drivers that are feeling like they need to go faster than everyone around them, and it causes problems. The 07 of Josh Osborne there.
Caution flag is out, and it will involve Josh Osborne in the 07 machine. Let's take a look and see what happened to Josh. He's just going to lose it by himself here, coming off of turn number 2. Does a nice job keeping it off the wall. Wow! That got close. I believe that was Dave. Let's see what Dave just saw right there. I think what he saw was an order for new pants. But let's take a look on board with the number 52 machine of Dave Huckleberry.
Yeah, he was not happy about this.
Whoa! I could just imagine that Dave would not be happy with that right there. Because that right there, it was a little sketchy. As we got more takers on pit lane here, Alayton Norgard. It's going to be Dustin Dewar, Josh Clark and company coming down. And as they come down, let's hear from our friends at Blue Egg Marketing.
Rev up your business with Blue Egg, your marketing pit crew. Turbocharge your lead generation with experienced drivers that can navigate the competitive track to connecting with your customers. With Blue Egg, you're always in the pole position, leading your brand toward victory lane. Don't spin your wheels, accelerate success with Blue Egg, fueling small businesses to win big. win the blue egg, you're always in the pole position, leading a brand toward victory lane. Don't spin your wheels, accelerate success with blue egg, fueling small businesses to win big. Fueling big to win big. Blue egg, fueling small businesses to win big. Ooh, ooh, big. To win big, you're always in the pole position, leading your brand toward victory lane. Don't spin your wheels, accelerate success with blue egg, fueling small businesses to win big. Ooh, win big.
Win big is what they plan on doing here tonight, as we're getting set to go back underway here in just a moment. Alayton Norgard. It's going to be Sean Leisure and Jay Connor leading us back to the green flag. And once we get back underway, we'll get the ruling on the latest caution. I think it's pretty obvious, though, that one was a solo spin that nearly collected Dave Huckleberry as we're coming back to the green flag. And it's a good launch there for Sean Leisure. Jay Connor does a nice job up on the high side as well, but the car in control on the restart just gets a much better jump than anyone else. As Huck slow on the apron, going to gather it back up. He's going to lose a handful of spots there as he falls to the rear of the field, but we're going to stay green here up towards the front.
So that last yellow was, of course, a tally for the 07 with that self-spin. I also gave a severe damage penalty tally to the 96 of Gavin Hibbs for that contact with the 11 of Chris Albrecht that we saw before the yellow came out. That resulted, surprisingly, in 6.5 minutes of damage to the 11 car. So that was apparently a much bigger hit than it looked like.
It definitely looked massive, because on the broadcast we saw a bumper cover go absolutely airborne off of that number 11 machine. It did pop back on, which of course is how body panels work on race cars. If they fly off, they're just automatically going to come back like a big old magnet. But
it's those tethers.
It's those tethers. Yeah, definitely 100 feet long tethers on board. There's saw Dominic Wright stepping out, and it doesn't matter because we're under caution once again.
Josh Osborne again.
Josh Osborne appears to have been involved. Ooh, did he have help? No.
It's another self spin.
So that will be race number 5 of the season done here for Josh Osborne, as that will be his second tally of this one. He'll be allowed to come back for Iowa later this evening, but unfortunately a couple other cars going to get collected in that one. Rough start, Alayton, to this race for a couple of guys, and a lot of them just innocent bystanders and not necessarily put themselves in those bad spots, but getting caught up nonetheless. As Jake Connor makes a late dive to pit lane, he'll pull Hostic and Racimus with him as they're going to go down to the attention of their pit crews. Let's have a word with Cale Pocock, driver of the number 6 machine, currently sitting third. Hey, Cale, it's Robert and Alayton up in the booth. You get a copy?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. It's going well. You're currently sitting in the 3rd position, started 6th. How's the car feeling so far, and what more do you need to get up there and battle it out with Sean Leisure and what was Jay Connor a moment ago?
Car feels fine. Not sure. I'm just kind of riding behind these guys for a little bit, trying to get some laps logged. And we'll see how these faster guys behind me on fresh tires go this run. And if they get by me, I'll probably pit on the next caution, because there's definitely going to be another caution.
Now, what's the situation looking like on fuel? We've seen guys dive down a couple of times here. Are you able to make it at this point on fuel? And is it just grabbing tires to have that extra little bit of rubber at this point? Is that what the pit strategy is?
Right now I'm 3 laps short, but if we keep getting these cautions like that, we can make it. So, but I think I'm gonna want fresher tires at the end if I can keep track position, or maybe these guys who already pitted stay out.
Alayton, you got anything here for Cale Pocock before we get the one to green?
You're one of 3 cars that hasn't pit yet. Are your tires feeling like they've still got decent pace in them, or is there definitely a pace loss that you've experienced through this stint so far?
I think there is a little bit of a difference. We're really gonna see it this time because all the fresh tires are behind us now. But we haven't really run super hard, so if there's a difference. I think it's only like a couple tenths.
Yeah, if we stay green, a couple tenths can be all the difference they need, but half a lap to green here. So anything else from you, Robert?
No, that's about it, Cale. We'll get you back down to your team, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you a little bit later.
All right, hopefully.
It's Cale Pocock, driver of the number 6. Alayton, bring us back to the green flag here this upcoming time with Sean Leisure, Jacob Adams, Cale Pocock, Justin Vandermarl, and Gavin Hibbs, the top 5.
Yep, we got my pick to win, Sean Leisure, in the lead. Gonna have that good jump on the restart. A little curious if we're gonna start seeing some wheel spin with these older tires. A hint of it from the 48 of Jacob Adams, but not a whole lot. Cale Pocock does get a better jump than Jacob did, so it's side by side between those two for second. I think the outside generally can have a better run through 1 and 2 here. And yeah, Jacob does clear Cale. That's Gavin right behind, with side by side with Justin Vanderbilt. Both of those are on equal tires, I believe. Yeah.
Well,
and Gavin wants to go back to the lead.
We had an incident back here just a second ago, Alayton. A couple of drivers get involved, not showing up on the board, but we'll manually back this one up. Andrew Hardcastle, one of those involved. Dusty Doer got sideways. Couple of guys getting caught up in this.
Looks like that's net code between
that got sketchy.
Andrew and Doer.
Pecumer had an incident as well. It was triggering. I wonder if that was maybe tail of that incident. No, Pecumer actually going to get spun. It looks like, by Kurt Gibson, but they go below the racing surface, so it doesn't bring out a yellow. Huh. Interesting. As we have a car in the outside wall, it's a Fueled Up Racing entry. It's a Harrison Talon machine in that number 1 car. He gets into the outside wall, gathers it back up. There's Noah Brown and Alec Daffin just ahead of him here. 2 guys that I'd mentioned earlier on that we should keep our eyes on. Both are fairly strong entries and are showing it here so far, as we have a battle a little bit behind them. Dominic Wright going to clear Joe Francis, so we'll get single file at least through the top 10. And as I say that, Justin Vandermarl loses patience and decides to dive to the inside of Cale Pocock. They're going to be side by side for position number 3 as they come off of turn number 4 this time. Now here comes Gavin Hibbs to the outside of Vandermarl, so Vandermarl going to lose positioning as they work their way through lap number 39, coming to 40 next time by. 37 laps to go.
Yeah, that fight between Vandermeer and Gavin Hibbs has been exactly what these top 3 have wanted to see. Kind of keeping those 2 on fresher tires held up a bit. But now that Hibbs has been kind of let go, I would question how long these guys are going to be able to hold on. Looks like he's already going to get around Pocock after that exit off of 4 with that contact between him and Jacob Adams. He kind of lost a lot of momentum from that. Also, it's Vandermeer go by. But
we got Chad asking for Fords, by the way, here, Alayton Norgard, and there's one.
Nobody likes Fords.
Jacob Adams in a Ford. I think that might be one of the few in the entire field. Joe Francis is a Ford. He's back there in 10th. There's just no speed in Ford's, Chad, as we see with most of your Elite Racing League stock car career. It's Jacob Adams holding up Gavin Hibbs. I'm going to get an angry text about that one, I'm sure. as Hibbs dives to the inside of the 48 of Jacob Adams. They're battling out for the second position. Hibbs going to clear. That opens the door for Vandermeer. Vandermeer to the inside of Adams now as they go side by side. Adams with the advantage up top as he's going to hold on to third. Vandermeer going to get in line just ahead of Cale Pocock. That's your top five as they all chase down one of the OGs here in the Elite Racing League in Sean Leisure in car 49.
Yeah, I was kind of curious if the ground that Gavin Hibbs was making up earlier, right after he stopped, was him just passing drivers that weren't quite at the same speed level, or if it was that tire advantage. I think it was a mix of both. At this point, he's not making the big gains on these older tires as he was earlier. So I think he doesn't have that big of a tire advantage as you would think from a 18 lap difference that he's on right now. But I think he will be able to catch. Never mind. I am
Noah
going to
Brown
bet
is
that everyone that
backwards.
has not pit is going to pit right here.
Absolutely. Is Noah Brown going to go around? He's seeing Code Brown in his pants right now. It involves Harry. Harry Talon and Noah Brown going to come together. Ooh, a blink.
Harry was blinked out and then just reappears right there.
Noah Brown had no idea that Harry was right there. Gets up into him, and that's going to send Noah around. Harry probably not going to pick up any damage in that, but Noah Brown looks like he does. As caution number 7 displayed on lap 44. Shout out to a couple more people hanging out in the YouTube chat. Austin Sally, Daniel Gore over here, William White. I thought he was at a concert, but I guess we're his concert tonight, Alayton. We'll sing a little bit later on. Paul Mikolajczyk hanging out there. That's Paul Bunch of Letters for those that don't want to learn how to say that last name. And Chad hanging out in the chat as well. Chad's a huge fan of these ARCA cars. Wishes he could be out here, but unfortunately, he can't. As a couple drivers going to stay out, everyone else going to go pit side. Jaden Racines, Corey Abbott, Drew King. We haven't mentioned him much tonight at all. And Dave Huckleberry going to be your top 4 for the upcoming restart. 30 to go. We'll be about 29 when we come back here on the Elite Racing Network. Don't go anywhere. It's I Want to Be Neighbor Pete night in the RevLimit Workshop Development Series presented by DesignPing.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Since 2010, race fans have had one burning question. When will the Xfinity Series return to Worldwide Technology Raceway? You asked, NASCAR delivered. On Saturday, September 6, 2025, the magic is back. The track that launched the legendary careers of Harvick, Busch, Keselowski, Edwards, and Earnhardt Jr. is now ready to write that next chapter. We're going to introduce you to a new crop of future champions and Hall of Famers. And in the process, we'll create more of the greatest moments in racing history. NASCAR Weekend 2025, the NASCAR Cup Series Championship Playoffs, the Confluence Music Festival, and now 250 miles of the NASCAR Xfinity Series. 2 incredible races, 1 challenging track, a 3-day party of epic proportions. Go to www.raceway.com and lock in your weekend racing and camping packages for as little as $20 down.
We almost restarted there, but that was a very, very late start from Jaden
They done that
Racinas,
right there.
and it just stacked up behind him.
Yeah, they're dead.
Big time stack up. Gavin Hibbs was caught up in that. Justin Vandermeer, the top 2 cars that had pit, just to name a couple.
Yeah, so they wrecked. We'll see what happened here. Oh my gosh, that was a shit show. Or that was a mess up there towards the front of the field. Let's see. Just a big stack up behind the 34 of Drew King. Everyone just piles into each other. Vandermeer, like you said, involved. Scott Shive gonna get in there. Josh Clark, Andrew Hardcastle, Gavin Hibbs. The 6 machine of Cale Pocock gonna get in there. A lot of cars involved in that one, and we're under caution for the 8th time here this evening. Alayton's gonna be busy for a moment, so who can we talk to that's up here? Well, Huck's gone to pit road. But pit road still is part of the race, so what we'll do is we'll go ahead and talk to Dave Huckleberry in just a moment. Dave, it's Robert and Alayton up in the booth. You get a copy.
Yeah, I got you.
You've experienced most things in this race here so far. You've been in a wreck. You almost got into a wreck when somebody decided that it was time to leave the scene of the accident and turn in front of you. You were up in the top 5. You almost had a taste of the podium as well. Now you're on pit lane. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're feeling here so far tonight, and what do you think your outlook is for the rest of this one, as most of the field just wrecked each other a moment ago?
Well, this is a development league, right? So I'm just developing and trying to survive. So I'm hoping to make it to Iowa. We're kind of pushed up against time crunch here, so I may have to drop out and go change a lobby. So we'll see what we do.
Well, I think you'll be okay. If you can't find your way to Iowa, just follow the cornfields and you'll know where you're going. But as you work your way back off of pit lane, looks like you're going to restart in the 17th position, so you'll be on the inside. We've seen you drop back a couple of times on the restarts. Has that been intentional, or are you just getting knocked out of the way back there?
Yeah, I'm just trying to turn laps here. I think this is the first, maybe the second race I've had at Darlington, so I'm just trying to stay out of the way. A lot of guys are really just want to go to the front in the first 2 corners, and I just want to turn laps.
And looking ahead to Iowa coming up here shortly, what's your outlook for that one? You think maybe you can get up there and compete for the victory?
No, but there are a lot more lanes at Iowa, so I do feel a lot more comfortable there. So,
well, Dave, we'll get you back down to the team. Best of luck in the rest of this one, and we'll see you in just a little bit at Iowa.
Thanks, Robert.
That was Dave Huckleberry, driver the number 52 Purdue machine. He's gone back down with his Do Good Motorsports teammates as we get set for the restart here. Jaden Racinas, Corey Abbott, row number 1, Sean Leisure, Jacob Adams, row 2, Joe Francis, Cale Pocock, row 3, Dave Carpenter, Alec Daffin, row 4, Gavin Hibbs, and Michael Hosick, the rest of your top 10. As the pace car is off, we're coming back to the green flag this time. Alayton Norgard, why don't you lead us back here?
We took the green long before the leader actually made it to the restart zone. That was some very strange. I don't understand what just happened. I think it gave the green to Gavin Higgins, but he is not being scored in the lead. I think he was coming off pit road late and just kind of it gave him control of the restart, apparently. That was very strange. Yeah. But we were 3 wide through turn 4 there, made it through safely. But Corey Abbott did get the jump on Jaden Racinas on that restart
into the outside wall right there, Alayton Norgard. That causes Hosick and Davin to have to jump out of the way just a little bit there, avoid calamity as we stay green now. 23 laps to go. in the I Want to Be Neighbor Pete race number 5 here at Darlington. We do have another event coming up here tonight at Iowa in just a little bit, so hopefully a competitive race there and lots of fun activities for these drivers to take part in. As Abbott, Leisure, Francis, Pocock, and Adams, your top 5.
Yeah, I think Iowa is going to be a lot easier for these guys to get green flag runs in on. Typically, Darlington, we'll see a lot of green flag runs just because of how big the aprons are. You'll be able to avoid a lot of yellows from that. But we haven't had that kind of luck here tonight, kind of obviously. Iowa's also a lot more conventional of a track, so people are going to be used to how to drive that more. Passed by Sean Leisure on Corey Abbott there. He does have a 12-lap tire advantage, and there are a bit more, there's more green flag laps on Corey's tires than previous tire differentials that we've seen so far. Catching up to Gavin Higgins there, a lap car, just one lap down. That was a little sketchy.
As the 56 going to come by, that's Joe Francis to the inside of Corey Abbott. The 56, of course, a number that's not a stranger to success in the Elite Racing League. Oh my gosh, Joe Francis.
I think he almost might have been saved by Kayla right there.
He stepped on Pocock right there. That was not what you want to do, as he got saved a little bit. Jacob Adams going to get by Cale Pocock, but Joe Francis absolutely gone to Sketch City right there as he gathers it back up, going to hold on to that third position. Leisure still leads the way over Abbott, Francis, Adams, and Pocock. Another driver that snuck into the top 10 here in the late stages, or as Will would say, late doors or something about doors. He seems to like doors very much.
There's early doors. I don't know that there's a late doors version.
Well, why not? If a door can be early, it can be late. As Jake Connor going to go around. We're going to stay green, but Jake Connor has decided that he's going to park it like Josh Williams did at Atlanta. Oh, well, he had some help from the 34 of Drew King. Going to send him around down towards the inside wall, but we'll stay clean. We'll stay green as Jay going to get back on her way with 18 laps to go. Kirk Gibson, by the way, just outside the top 10 at this point. He's been caught up in 2 or 3 incidents at this stage in the race, and now finds himself just outside the top 10, chasing down Gavin Grubbs and Jaden Racimus as they battle it out for 9th.
Yeah, one upside to all these yellows that we've had is that it's given these guys time to get repairs done. I know one person that was very happy to see a yellow earlier was Corey Abbott, after he had gotten kind of pushed down to the side by some contact with Gavin Hibbs and someone else on a restart. He kind of lost a lot of spots and had some right front damage from that, but here he is running in second place right now. Though he's definitely got a couple cars breathing down his neck, trying to take that away. But he's holding on against them pretty well so far. Maybe going 3 wide here in turn 1.
Oh, that got close right there as they went by Josh Clark. Jacob Adams nearly gets into Joe Francis, trying to get by Josh Clark, as Clark really struggling. Look at that right front. That is not the way it should be. Yeah, you want to cool down the brakes, get the tires a little cooler on those race cars, but that doesn't mean that you open up a slot on the right front to allow that air to go through. That's just not usually what you want to do. As we come to 15 to go, at this point, usually we point out our biggest mover of the race, and we will. That's Austin and Abnett, plus 20 positions on the day, currently sitting in position number 18. A couple of guys, not glides, that's not a word, that are close to him in those standings would be Miguel Carrera, up 18 spots, and Kurt Gibson up 17 on the day. They currently sit 12th and 11th respectively, as Sean Leisure going to pull away from these guys. Jacob Adams, he's decided he's going to take a peek 3 wide, goes all the way to the bottom. No, that's actually Cale Pocock. I stand corrected, as Adams holds on to third. Pocock going to try to get himself into Corey Abbott's position here as they battled out for 4th and 5th. Alec Daffin right there as well in the number 3 machine. Maybe going to channel some Intimidator if he gets the opportunity to do so, as Leisure going to leisurely work his way around to 13 laps to go here at Darlington. The I Want to Be Neighbor Pete race number 5 and 6 here this evening.
I was just reviewing that contact between Jake Kaner and Drew King from earlier. I go back to the live view, and all of a sudden Corey has lost a lot of ground to Joe Francis and Jacob Adams. I missed what happened to open that much of a gap. I can't imagine that was purely on pace.
Well, the incident involving Jay Connor and Drew King probably led to a statement from Jay asking if Drew King was Joe King as that incident happened there to send the 9 machine around. And I'll hand him my pass after that absolutely terrible joke there just a moment ago, as we'll watch a battle back here between Austin and Abnett, Harrison Talon, and the father of, oh no, bye-bye, Andrew Hardcastle, as he's going to go around, and we're under caution once again.
On Andrew's car is crab.
Oh, Dustin Dewar. Dustin Dewar gets into the outside wall just ahead of Andrew Hardcastle here. Hardcastle not able to react in time, gets into the outside wall as well. Dominic Wright, I believe, just able to sneak by Austin and Abnett into Hardcastle. And that's going to put us under caution once again. Is it showing Dewar has crashed after the incident as well? Looks like he might have just come to a slow on the front straightaway. And Alayton, now that we're 10 to go, do you pit for tires again?
I think you probably do. If you're Sean or someone in the top couple rows, I could see staying out. But behind that, I think you pit and take tires.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens when pit lane opens. By the way, your hockey update halfway through the second period, so the midway point of the game, Ottawa leads 1-0 over the Toronto Maple Leafs. And Sean Leisure, Alec Daffin, and Dave Carpenter, the only drivers in the top 15 that opt to stay out. Joe Francis going to lead pretty much the rest of the field down pit lane. Looks like a couple exceptions to that being Dave Huckleberry that's going to stay out, as well Dominic Wright. So your top 5 for the upcoming restart, with likely about 6 to go, will be Sean Leisure, Alec Daffin, Dave Carpenter, Dave Huckleberry, and Dominic Wright. Colbert also staying out on the racetrack. So your top 6 will be on old tires. Everyone else will be on new tires, as we'll watch the pit exit to see who wins that race off here. And it's going to be Joe Francis, first car off of pit lane, followed by Jacob Adams, Corey Abbott, Michael Hosick, and Cale Pocock. This is going to be wild here, Alayton. There's some drivers inside the top 6 right now that haven't really been at the front. There's some very strong cars as well, guys that have been up there, and some that have kind of struggled up to this point. And you have fresh tires, you have aggression as well that's going to line up just behind some of these guys. I don't think we're done with the yellows, and I really wish I didn't have to say that, but I don't believe that we're done with the yellows at this point.
Yeah, the guys that stayed out, the top 6, they want every yellow that they can get from this point on, just to burn these final laps. But from Joe Francis back, they want this to be green as much as possible, because they are probably going to be able to just blow by these guys if they can have even just a few green flag laps to do it.
And
so
I think
it's really going to depend on if these guys can keep their car straight or not.
I think now is as good a time as ever to mention that here in the RevLimit Workshop Development Series presented by DesignPing, we do have up to 3 green-white checkers that will be available to the field when and if they need to come into play, which I'm going to lean more on the when they need to come into play. Also, why do we have guys looking 3 wide on the bottom? We're not at Talladega or Daytona. Get in line and get ready for the restart as we work our way off of turns number 3 and 4. Pretty big gap there behind the 3 machine. The 52 needing to close up just a bit here, leaving about a car length and a half between those vehicles. That's going to stack up the outside lane, I do believe, on this restart. If he doesn't close it up, and yeah, that's exactly what it does. It's going to lead to a pretty big stack up behind, and a lot of cars going to get moved back out of the way. Jacob Adams going to be one of the biggest to lose out on this one, as he's going to fall outside of the top 10 because of that right there, as we have Joe Francis trying to slice and dice his way up through the field late, and that was a sketchy restart.
Yeah, that 17 just spun the hell out of his tires and just checked up the outside line badly the entire way. A little surprising, no one really lost it, but we're seeing what Joe Francis needed to see here. He's up to 3 cars in front of him.
Jaden Racimus around, and we're going to stay green. He did get tagged, so he had some help here. Let's take a look real quick at what happened. Oh, actually, he's just going to run into the back of Colbert and lose it. Going to get tagged there by the 41, Frank Foti, so that will help finish off the Jaden Racimus machine, but we'll stay green. 5 to go. Sean Leisure, Alec Daffin, Joe Francis, Dave Carpenter, Cale Pocock, the top 5. Corey Abbott, Dominic Wright, Jacob Adams, Michael Hossack, and Gavin Grubbs inside the top 10, as I believe that was Colbert that just hit the outside wall there again in the 17. He's going to fall back to 14th now, as we have a battle. Cale Pocock trying to get by David Carpenter as they're working their way around. 3 to go this upcoming time by.
Yeah, I think Joe Francis is in exactly the position that he wants to be right now. Even if there's a yellow with only 2 cars, 2 laps is probably enough to get that done after the yellow ends. Now it's just 1 car. He's going to be starting on the outside if we get another caution. But with the way that this field has spaced out, I think there's a good shot we go green to the end.
Let's hope so.
I think we're going to be looking at Joe Francis as our winner here.
Well, Sean Leisure leads with 2.5 to go. You never know. Oh, here comes Joe. Joe Francis in the aggressive Eagle 56 to the outside of Sean Leisure. Leisure on the inside. Francis up top as we come to popsicle sticks this time. 2 laps to go for Joe Francis. Sean Leisure holding on to second, but here comes Alec Daffin, and don't look now, Cale Pocock down to the inside of him. That's your battle for third. If Pocock can clear Daffin here, he may have a chance to battle it out with these top 2, but as they come down the backstretch, 1.5 laps to go. Neighbor Pete, I know you're watching there, buddy, as here we come through 3 and 4, coming to the white flag here to put us with just 1 lap remaining. 4 corners to go for Joe Francis, the driver of the aggressive Eagle, number 56. Numbers by Joe on board that entry. He heads through 1 and 2 for the final time as he comes off at turn number 2. Going to head down the back straightaway. Leisure going to try to hold off Pocock here. Abbott up to 4th. He's gotten by Daffin. Hossack into the wall in the background as contact with Pocock and Leisure. That's not leisurely contact there. That sends Pocock into the outside wall. He's going to go to second, but here we come to the line. Checkered flag in the air. Joe Francis gonna win the I Want to Be Neighbor Pete race number 5 here at Darlington. Cale Pocock second. Sean Leisure gonna round out the podium with Corey Abbott and Alec Daffin rounding out the top 5. Dave Carpenter in 6th. Jacob Adams 7th. Michael Hossack 8th. Gavin Grubbs 9th. And Miguel Carrera gonna claim a top 10 position here for Arcade Motorsports as he comes to the line in the 10th spot. Frank Foti, Dominic Wright just outside the top 10 with Drew King, Dave Huckleberry, and Caleb Pecumer. The rest of your top 15 as we see Joe Francis come around. He's going to burn it down. Your winner here at Darlington, it's Joe Francis. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll talk to your podium finishers and get set for race number 2 of the doubleheader coming up at Iowa. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
3 years of sellout crowds, 3 years of edge-of-your-seat action, 3 years of jaw-dropping finishes. Worldwide Technology Raceway has rocked the world of NASCAR, and now NASCAR is giving us another reason to celebrate. The 2025 NASCAR Cup Series Championship playoffs are coming Sunday, September 7th, 2025. Just when you thought the racing couldn't get any more intense, now every single lap matters. One wrong move could be the difference between elimination and being crowned the king. The Enjoy Illinois 300, the Confluence Music Festival, the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs, and for the first time in 15 years, the NASCAR Xfinity Series on Saturday, September 6th. Don't be on the outside looking in. See history being made in your own backyard. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
And we are back here at the Darlington Raceway. We're going to go ahead and bring in our race winner, Joe Francis, standing by with Alayton Norgard.
Hey, Joe, Alayton up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yep. You got me?
Yeah. That was an interesting race, to be sure. Were you just hoping that it stay green to the end there?
Honestly, my plans probably changed every other caution because I thought, considering all the wrecks, probably just going to stay out as long as possible. And got to the point where tires really played into a factor, and I decided, screw it, I'll pit here and there. And I thought, even on that final run, I thought, I'll just stay out because it's hard to pass here. But then when 10 laps, when we got 10 to go and the caution came out, yeah, the tires were pretty worn out. So I said, screw it, might as well just not do what the leader does. So I went ahead and went down pit road, and it worked out.
Yeah. If there were any yellows, do you think that you could, yellows in those final 10 laps, I should say, do you think that you had enough of an advantage that you could have gotten around those cars if there were still 2 or 3 in front of you, or did you need that green flag run to get those passes complete?
At least that final green flag run, probably just to, get around those few guys. I don't remember exactly how many laps were left on that final run, but it was just long enough. I mean, if there were 1 or 2 more guys in front of me at that point, I probably wouldn't be able to get around them in time, but just got fortunate.
All right. Well, we won't let you go to get some practice in Iowa before this qualifying starts. So any sponsors you want to thank or shout outs you want to give?
Just shout out to the team, Aggressive Eagle, and my other team, Strictly Stock Motorsports, and Gavin and Cole raced tonight, and you guys broadcasting.
All right. Well, congrats on the win and good luck at Iowa.
All right. Appreciate it. You have a good night.
Yep.
That was your race winner, Joe Francis, and we'll go ahead and pull in Cale Pocock, your second place finisher now. Hey, Cale, it's Robert up in the booth. You get a copy?
Hey, how's it going?
Well, I told you we'd be talking to you a little bit later. You brought it home second here at Darlington. Why don't you walk us through your race, and what more did you need to get up there and have a shot at that win against Joe Francis?
I think I needed about 5 more laps just to get through traffic better than he did. I had to fight Corey a little bit too on the same set of tires because I slid through my pit box. So not sliding through my pit box probably would have helped.
Yeah, that definitely would have helped here. But looking ahead, we're headed to Iowa here in just a couple of minutes. What's your outlook for that one, and what do you need to do to walk away with a victory here tonight?
I'm not really sure about Iowa. I really like Darlington, so that was the one I'm looking forward to. I think top 10 would be a good finish at Iowa, but hopefully I made it exciting there the last couple laps of the broadcast, bouncing off the wall.
Well, you were certainly using every inch of that racetrack, that's for sure, Cale. Before we let you go, why don't you tell us your sponsors, teammates, who gets it done for that 6 machine?
Everybody on Abbott Motorsports, you, Alayton, Corey, Will, Dom, Andrew, and the BOR guys, Minch, Brent, and David. So big
There
old
you go.
team.
Absolutely. There's a lot of them. Cale, good luck at Iowa, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you a little bit later on.
All right. Thank you.
There's Cale Pocock, your second place finisher. Now going to send it back to Alayton Norgard, standing by with our third place finisher, Sean Leisure.
Hey, Sean, Alayton up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah.
Oh, you had a pretty strong run there. It looked like you were going to have a good shot to win up until those guys on fresh tires are coming at you with less than 10 to go. How bad did you want a yellow there before the race ended?
Before it ended, I didn't want one at all. I was leading there for a little while, and then obviously that yellow came out with 10 to go, and I kind of just wanted to. I figured whatever they do the opposite of what I did, so I figured it'd be worth staying out and surviving, especially what happened a few restarts prior. But as far as wanting yellow, like after the guys took freshies, I would have liked a yellow right then and there, right on the restart. I needed a restart caution, honestly, to have any sort of chance of winning on old tires. Once it strung out a little bit and they were able to start actually making moves, the guys with fresh tires, I kind of just knew I was on due time. But just glad to bring home third and get another podium.
Yeah, you still had a pretty strong run against those tires. Almost held on to second, but some tight racing with Cale Pocock there on last couple corners. Was there anything you could have done to held on to that second place, or was it just kind of a little bit too much to fight up against?
Yeah, I tried. I apologize. I've kind of put him up in the wall a little bit. I meant to pinch him, but I didn't mean to wall him. And in the end, he ended up getting second anyway. But I mean, honestly, as much as I wanted to win, I mean, I'm pretty sure I led the most laps out of the race. Even though that happened, I mean, I'm just glad to finish, considering how my season's gone so far, and to get another good finish it's a good points race. So, really looking forward to Iowa. So we'll see if we can maybe seal the deal there.
All right, well, we want to let you go and get into that practice before qualifying starts. So, and before we do let you go, any sponsors you want to thank or shout outs you want to give?
I just want to thank y'all for putting on this league. It's a lot of fun taking my time out on Tuesdays and coming and running with y'all. And then obviously once the next full season of all the series start back up, I'll be a part of that as well. But it was a good race. Thank you to all the people who support my real life racing, if any of y'all are watching, and thank y'all for putting this on.
All right. Well, good luck at Iowa. We'll see you there in a little bit.
Thank you.
That was Sean Leisure, your third place driver here tonight. We're going to step aside for probably about 10 minutes or so, work our way over to the Iowa race. So we'll be right back here in just a couple moments time. Stay tuned here on the Elite Racing Network. We'll be right here on this same stream, so you don't have to change the channel. We'll be right back.
Since 2010, race fans have had one burning question. When will the Xfinity Series return to Worldwide Technology Raceway? You asked, NASCAR delivered. On Saturday, September 6, 2025, the magic is back. The track that launched the legendary careers of Harvick, Busch, Keselowski, Edwards, and Earnhardt Jr. is now ready to write that next chapter. We're going to introduce you to a new crop of future champions and Hall of Famers. And in the process, we'll create more of the greatest moments in racing history. NASCAR Weekend 2025, the NASCAR Cup Series Championship Playoffs, the Confluence Music Festival, and now 250 miles of the NASCAR Xfinity Series. 2 incredible races, 1 challenging track, a 3-day party of epic proportions. Go to www.raceway.com and lock in your weekend racing and camping packages for as little as $20 down.
There's a guy on my street, you know him well. He's the life of the block, got stories to tell. With a smile so wide and a heart so kind. If you ever need help, he's the first you'll find. Oh, neighbor Pete, you make life sweet. With your lawn so green and your friendly greet. You lend a hand and you share your tools. In this crazy world, you break all the rules. Oh, neighbor Pete, you're one of a kind. In this neighborhood, you're the best we can find. Every Sunday morning he brings fresh baked bread. And when the kids are playing, he's their safety thread. With a laugh that echoes and a heart of gold. In times of trouble, his strength never folds. Oh, neighbor Pete, you make life sweet. With your lawn so green and your friendly greet. You lend a hand and share your tools. In this crazy world, you break all the rules. Oh, neighbor Pete, you're one of a kind. In this neighborhood, you're the best we can find. Sunday morning he brings fresh fresh baked bread, and when the kids are playing, he's their safety thread. With a laugh that echoes and a heart of gold, in times of trouble, his strength never folds. Oh neighbor Pete, you make life sweet with your lawn so green and your friendly greet. You lend a hand, you share your tools in this crazy world, break all the rules. Oh neighbor Pete, you're one of a kind in this neighborhood, you're the best we can find. From barbecues in summer to snowball fights, he's the guy you call on the coldest nights. With a spirit so bright like a guiding light, in a world that's rushing, he makes everything right. Oh neighbor Pete, you make life sweet with your lawn so green and your friendly greet. You lend a hand, you share your tools in this crazy world, you break all the rules. Oh neighbor Pete, you're one of a kind in this neighborhood, you're the best we can find. So here's to you Pete, let the whole world see how amazing you are, just how great you can be. A neighbor, a friend, someone we admire. You lift us all up and set our hearts on fire. Oh neighbor Pete, you'll brighten our days. In this little corner, you're the hero always. Oh neighbor Pete, you make life sweet with your lawn so green and your friendly greet. You lend a hand, you share your tools in this crazy world, you break all the rules. Oh neighbor Pete, you're one of a kind in this neighborhood, you're the best we can find. There's a guy on my street, you know him well. He's the life of the block, got stories to tell. With a smile so wide and a heart so kind, if you ever need help, he's the first you'll find. Oh neighbor Pete, you make life sweet with your lawn so green and your friendly greet. You lend a hand, you share your tools in this crazy world, you break all the rules. Oh neighbor Pete, you're one of a kind in this neighborhood, you're the best we can find. Every Sunday morning he brings fresh baked bread, and when the kids are playing, he's their safety thread. With a laugh that echoes and a heart of gold, in times of trouble, his strength never folds. Oh neighbor Pete, you make life sweet with your lawn so green and your friendly greet. You lend a hand, you share your tools in this crazy world, you break all the rules. Oh neighbor Pete, you're one of a kind in this neighborhood, you're the best we can find. Every Sunday morning he brings fresh baked bread, and when the kids are playing, he's their safety thread. With a laugh that echoes and a heart of gold, in times of trouble, his strength never folds. Oh neighbor Pete, you make life sweet with your lawn so green and your friendly greet. You lend a hand, you share your tools in this crazy world, you break all the rules. Oh neighbor Pete, you're one of a kind in this neighborhood, you're the best we can find. From barbecues in summer to snowball fights, he's the guy you call on the coldest nights. With a spirit so bright like a guiding light, in a world that's rushing, he makes everything right. Oh neighbor Pete, you make life sweet with your lawn so green and your friendly greet. You lend a hand, you share your tools in this crazy world, you break all the rules. Oh neighbor Pete, you're one of a kind in this neighborhood, you're the best we can find. So here's to you Pete, let the whole world see how amazing you are, just how great you can be. A neighbor, a friend, someone we admire. You lift us all up and set our hearts on fire. Oh neighbor Pete, you'll brighten our days. In this little corner, you're the hero always.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
3 years of sellout crowds, 3 years of edge of your seat action, 3 years of jaw-dropping finishes. Worldwide Technology Raceway has rocked the world of NASCAR, and now NASCAR is giving us another reason to celebrate. The 2025 NASCAR Cup Series Championship playoffs are coming Sunday, September 7th, 2025. Just when you thought the racing couldn't get any more intense, now every single lap matters. One wrong move could be the difference between elimination and being crowned the king. The Enjoy Illinois 300, the Confluence Music Festival, the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs, and for the first time in 15 years, the NASCAR Xfinity Series on Saturday, September 6th. Don't be on the outside looking in. See history being made in your own backyard. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
Hey friends, we're back. We're here at Iowa, and we're just waiting for these guys to wrap up qualifying. A couple of them currently out here on the racetrack. We'll go ahead and follow along as they wrap up their laps here. Looks like Danny Martinez currently sitting up there on the pole. Old Dan doing a great job. Was not with us, I don't believe, for race number 1 of the night, Alayton. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember seeing Daniel Martinez out there on the racetrack, but nonetheless, good to see him out here for race number 2.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing him either. That doesn't mean that he wasn't involved in that early wreck, or one of the early wrecks.
That's facts,
and
yeah.
just parked it, but we'll just assume that he wasn't
That's right.
there.
As Jay Connor goes to the top of the boards. Doing a nice job here in the late stages of qualifying. Well, that's all messed up. Let's see if this works. There we go. 2 minutes, 14 seconds to go. It's Jay Connor leading, Dan Martinez, Gavin Hibbs up here. We'll take a look at a couple other guys currently out here on the track doing their qualifying laps. Michael Hosick just finishing up. Gavin Grubbs out here on the racetrack. Caleb Pecumer putting his lap in. Joseph Costello wrapping up his qualifying. Austin and Abnett out here. He's done. Kurt Gibson, he is currently on a flyer, I do believe. Justin Vandermeer just went 5th overall and wrapped up his time. Carlos Acosta currently trying to put a lap in. Let's take a look at Sean Leisure for his time. We'll see where he slots in. Sean gonna go P29 on lap number 1. Hopefully for his sake that was a throwaway and he can pick up here on lap number 2 as he heads down the back straightaway. Let's see if Sean Leisure able to move up the charts on lap number 2. Corey Abbott currently slotted in 36th of 36 that have taken a time. He's looking for a big gain on lap 2. Sean Leisure goes from the 30s to the 9th position on that lap. Is Corey Abbott going to come through 3 and 4? We'll see if he picks up. Currently 37th of the 38 that have taken a time. Only Dusty Doer slower than him. So from 37th for Abbott to 37th. So no gains here for Corey Abbott on lap number 2. He's going to start deep in the field. Dustin Doer might have just had a slap at the wall. He's 39th on the speed chart. He's going to slot in 33rd. The only drivers not to take a qualifying time, Colbert and Shea Mitchell. And Mitchell, I don't believe, took a practice time either, as he's just now coming out onto the racing surface. Not going to have time to put in a qualifying lap, so he is going to start either 40th or 41st in this one, as Harrison Talon just slotted in to position number 21. We'll wrap up qualifying here, and it looks like Jay Connor going to be on the pole for race number 2 of tonight's doubleheader here at Alayton Norgard.
Yeah, good start from Jay there. Daniel Martinez coming in for his first race of the night for sure. In second, Michael Hosek third, Gavin Hibbs fourth. Good laps by these guys. Going to have a bunch of EOLs for banners once again. Just drivers don't have time to update them between races here tonight, but they'll be right. Going through our rundown on the 40 Simware, 40 Racewear poll is Jay Connor. Second is Daniel Martinez, Michael Hosek in third, Gavin Hibbs fourth, Justin Vandermill in fifth, Timothy Watson in sixth, Dave Carpenter in seventh, Jacob Adams in eighth, Sean Leisure in ninth, Gavin Grubbs in 10th, 11th is Noah Brown, and 12th is Gavin Higgins.
13th in race number 2 here, Joe Francis, your race 1 winner, alongside Caleb Pecumer in row 7. Row number 8, Frank Foti and Alec Daffin, Joseph Costello and Scott Shiv gonna round out the top 18 with Miguel Carrera and Josh Clark there in row 10. Row 11, Harrison Talon, Drew King to his outside, Dominic Wright and Austin and Abnett gonna make up your first 12 rows. Kurt Gibson going to start 25th. Chris Albrecht 26th. 27th, Andrew Hardcastle. 28th, Dylan Haver. Josh Osborne and Carlos Acosta round out the top 30. 31st, David Woods. 32nd, Mitch Haver. Dave Huckleberry 33rd with Dustin Dewar to his outside. Pierce Hausler and Jaden Racimus round out the top 36. The rest of your field, Kel Pocock, your second place finisher in race number 1 alongside Connor Thompson. Corey Abbott going to start 39th with Shea Mitchell and Colbert rounding out the 41 car field here in race number 6 of the RevLimit Workshop Development Series presented by DesignPing here at the Iowa Speedway. This will be 75 laps in distance as we're just wrapping up the grid period here, Alayton. These guys should be getting set to roll in just a moment. There's going to be EOLs issued, as Alayton did previously mention, but hopefully in this one we're able to go clean, go green, and get some pretty good laps in. As Chad Frankenfield, what's up, Chad? Chad's over there checking out everything going on over here. As Alayton, are you back from your race control duties, sir?
Yes, I am here.
All right, let's go ahead and make race picks here. I think your pick beat mine in race number 1, so why don't you go ahead? Actually, no, mine did. Cale Pocock finished second, yours finished third, so I get the first pick here in race number 2, and my pick is going to be coming from row number 3. I'm gonna go with the guy that likes to tally me anytime I hop into the Robotics Photography Grand National Series. Check out roboticsphoto.com for all your photography needs, by the way. Jacob Adams driving that number 48 machine. That's my pick to get it done here at Iowa. Who do you got?
I'm gonna go with the front row again with Daniel Martinez in the 83.
Daniel Martinez driving the number 83 for Fueled Up Racing, the JV Designs entry. A very, very solid pick there. Dan, one of those guys that I always consider a dark horse when it comes to any race he enters. He's one of those quiet guys that you don't necessarily expect to get up there and be competing for the win, but when it comes time to it, you look up and here's that old 83 machine. So watch for the 83 to be strong here tonight, but also watch for that 48 just a couple rows behind him as we get set to go green. Connor, Martinez, Hosek, Hibbs, Vandermeer, your top 5 as the pace truck's off. We're getting set to go green here through the Geico restart zone. Green flags out. We all want to be Neighbor Pete here tonight, and we want to be green as well, and we are here at Iowa. We're underway.
very even start through the first 4 rows. Sean Leisure in row 5 starts making the first move up alongside Dave Carpenter, 3 wide for a moment for 3rd place before Vandermill backs down, and they're still trying to make it 3 wide, but there's enough movement through the field that is keeping to about 2 wide most of the way.
Dan Martinez going to lead lap number 1 as he pulls away from Jay Connor. Connor going to battle back on the inside, gets the nose in there to the left rear quarter panel, the JV Designs entry. We got a battle towards the rear of the field as well. Pierce Hausler battling it out with Shea Mitchell and Timothy Watson. Connor Thompson and Dustin Dewar duking it out here. Josh Clark and Frank Fody having a little two-way dance. But the battle continues to be at the front of the field as Gavin Hibbs trying to get up into that picture as well. Your top 3, Martinez, Connor, Hibbs, as they come to lap number 4. Hibbs into the outside wall. Adams looks to the inside of him. And, you know, much like Darlington, the outside wall comes into play rather easily here as Connor Thompson goes around. He's going to try to pit himself in a spot where pitting maybe not something that you want to do. As we'll see if we can have a look at what happened to Connor Thompson. It may have involved Andrew Hardcastle as we take a look at the Connor Thompson machine. Or does it involve Josh Osborne? Thompson
looks like Josh was just slow off the corner, and Connor tries to go down to avoid him. He clears himself on
Kurt Gibson. Yeah, he kind of hooks himself right there. As Neighbor Pete says, good luck, KOR Motorsports, minus 45 again. Yeah, unfortunately, minus 45 again. But one thing to point out now here, Alayton, is Jay Connor has taken the lead from Dan Martinez, but Connor Thompson's right there, just up the road. So we're already going to be coming into lap traffic with how far down the racetrack Connor Thompson went. He wasn't really in play for any sort of caution to be displayed. It was kind of ruled as a one-car deal, and it's just unfortunate there. Josh Osborne's having an issue towards the rear. He's going to go around, and well, we're under caution for Josh Osborne. Take a look, see what happened. Oh, he had help there. Carlos Acosta, I believe, comes up and gets into the left rear of Josh Osborne, sends Osborne around into the outside wall. We'll see what race control has to say. Might see some different angles that I don't in this situation, but to me, it looked like an 02 and 07 incident there for sure. We'll see what the ruling is, but what this does is it kind of saves Connor Thompson. Yeah, he had a rough start, went for a pretty big spin, has a little bit of damage on that 30 machine, but he's going to have the opportunity now to go down pit road, stay on the lead lap, or potentially give up a lap if he opts to do so, which is an option available to these guys if they do have extension damage. Stay on pit road, get your car fixed, lose a lap, get it back later. They all know cautions are going to come, but we'll see what they do. And, you know, we saw a lot of faking right here on this first lap under caution, and nobody going to pit except for the 2 cars that have been involved in incidents so far tonight. Josh Osborne and Connor Thompson, the only drivers to pit from 40th and 41st respectively. So quite interesting to see that there.
Yeah, I think it's too early to pit for tires. These cars can make it to the end on fuel, I believe. So tires are going to be the only constraint for pit stops here.
I think you're going to see more guys come down once we hit like that 20 lap mark, Alayton. We've put a little bit of pressure on the tires, built up the temperatures, gotten it where they've scuffed them a little bit, maybe gone for a couple slides here and there. But as of right now, only 9 laps in, you're not necessarily pushing it too far. You might even have the tires kind of where you want them right now. You've worn a little bit of the shiny bit off of it and gotten it to a more grippy state where you're able to go out there, work the bottom lane, work the middle lane, work the top lane. And I don't recommend the top lane here at Iowa, Alayton. It's a lane that can get very, very bumpy and has a couple bumps that have a tendency of throwing you into the outside wall as well.
Yeah, in 1 and 2 specifically. In 3 and 4, you can run the top all day long, but yeah, in 1 and 2, just above that second dash line, there are some pretty big bumps that will upset the car. You can run it, but you'll lose time compared to if you just run a little bit lower, or even all the way up at the wall. I think doesn't have those bumps. As for that yellow, I did make the call for a tally on the 02 of Carlos Acosta, just coming up into the 07 of Josh Osborne.
Yeah, just unfortunate incident there for those guys. I mean, it's two cars battling for the same little bit of space, and it's going to happen from time to time. And one thing that's interesting here, Jake Connor opting to take the high lane for this upcoming restart. He is alongside Gavin Hibbs, who currently sits down there on the inside lane. Hibbs, of course, a Fueled Up Racing entry in this RevLimit Workshop Development Series presented by DesignPing. So he's going to line up with his teammates behind him in Justin Vandermeer and Daniel Martinez. Actually, no, I do apologize. I do stand corrected. Vandermeer up top. That's Adams on the bottom, and then Martinez. But a couple of Fueled Up cars having a really good run here early on. 3 in the first 3 rows, so half of your top 6 belonging to Fueled Up Racing, and making guys like Trey Holmes, Justin Vandermeer, John Cutlip, those guys looking pretty smart here so far with their team selections. We come back under green. We're back underway. Connor with a good jump. Vandermeer with a great jump as well up on that high lane. We'll see what he's able to do. He's got Sean Leisure behind him. Kale Pocock losing a couple spots on that restart. That's something to keep an eye on as these guys looking 3 wide towards the rear of the field. Things getting a bit sketch city back outside of the top 30. And well, his wings have been clipped and we're still, oh my.
Oh, that is a late hit.
Oh my goodness, right there. Justin Vandermeer winner. That man, he's not gonna be happy. He's not gonna be happy at all. What in the what?
Yeah.
What, who is that? Who is that? Somebody's right here.
Gavin Hibbs on the bottom.
Oh my,
Winking out.
what the fuck? Oh shit. Oh. What in the world? Just
That's some
bull right there, man.
Chicagoland ARCA netcode nonsense.
Oh my. Like, hello? Internet server? What are you doing? That's just craziness. Sean Leisure, Justin Vandermeer, a bunch of guys getting pieces of this, and then, oh my god. What in the world? I'm going to go on board with Kale Pocock here and just see what he saw. That's just crazy.
You know, I said that was a very late hit from Kale, but the yellow wasn't ever out
we
until
were green.
basically when he made contact.
Yeah, I mean, you can make an argument that
comes out like right there.
You can make an argument that he probably saw him at this point if he's looking well ahead, but at the same time he's probably looking at guys like Scott Shiv right ahead of him and just trying to find a way around. But
yeah, there's a lot of cars there.
What the heck was that? That's ridiculous. I don't even know what to say about that. That's just crazy.
Yeah, you can't even put that on anyone with some bizarre netcode like that.
Tally iRacing right there, man. Like, that's crazy. That is absolutely ridiculous, man. I'm going to take a page from Brent Jones' book right now. We pay for this service, and we see things like this happen out here in a race, in a league. That just cost Justin Vandermeer and Kale Pocock majorly. Sean Leisure got a big piece of that as well. A lot of these guys getting huge damage from something that didn't even happen. Something that basically was the hand of God just decided to come down from the sky and throw Justin Vandermeer into the outside wall. That's not racing. That's not anything that we should ever see. That is just ridiculous. That is stupid. That should be fixed right away because we can't have that happen ever again. That was just a Chad ton of BS right there. We'll be right back.
Taking the green there, Jake Connor started on the outside, got a good jump on Gavin Hibbs. Hibbs was actually caught sleeping a little bit. Daniel Martinez almost is clearing him off of 2 here. One thing I wanted to mention, before that yellow came out, Dan had jumped out to an early lead and then had fallen all the way back to 5th place pretty quickly, but he was running the bottom pretty consistently. So I'm thinking that he was going for more of a conservative tire saving play, and that I don't know if that's going to work out. It's too early. We're too early doors in this race to really get a good sense of whether this is going to be a lot of green or not. But yeah, it looks like he's being a bit more aggressive running the middle lane here. So we'll see if he moves further down to save or continues to try and maintain track position.
Yeah, I had to step away for a second there. That Justin Vandermeer incident was just absolutely ridiculous. As we see a battle for second here, Daniel Martinez, Alec Daffin, Jacob Adams, all duking it out here. Daffin up 13 spots, by the way. An absolutely phenomenal run here in the early going of this one. Early doors, looking like an absolute pro right now, just behind Daniel Martinez. And another driver I have to point out is on the tear right now. Jaden Racimus, he started 36, currently sitting just outside the top 10 in position number 12. So up 24 spots on the day. Looking real good here so far. As we jump back up, we see Jacob Adams taking a peek to the inside of Dan Martinez, not able to get there that time, slides up ahead of Daffin. They both collect the outside wall and look slow. Kurt Gibson and Pierce Hausler going to come together, and we're under caution once again.
I think this is going to be Pierce a little...
No, this is going to be Colbert. Actually gets into the left rear of Kurt Gibson, sends him around up into the outside wall. I believe something happens with Dave Huckleberry a little further up as well. And then Pierce Hausler gets involved. But I believe Huck and Bear might have had a little bit of contact as well. This would have been after the incident. Yeah, Huck kind of gets shot up there by the 34 machine into the side of Colbert. But Bear sent Kurt Gibson for a spin, and then Pierce Hausler just nowhere to go into the side of Kurt Gibson and puts us under caution as Dan Martinez will not fake it this time. He comes down, brings Hibbs, Brown, Francis, and a whole lot of other cars down as we're under caution. A third of the way through this one, 24 down, 52 laps to go. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on the Elite Racing Network.
3 years of sellout crowds, 3 years of edge of your seat action, 3 years of jaw-dropping finishes. Worldwide Technology Raceway has rocked the world of NASCAR, and now NASCAR is giving us another reason to celebrate. The 2025 NASCAR Cup Series Championship Playoffs are coming. Sunday, September 7th, 2025. Just when you thought the racing couldn't get any more intense, now every single lap matters. One wrong move could be the difference between elimination and being crowned the king. The Enjoy Illinois 300, the Confluence Music Festival, the NASCAR Cup Series Playoffs, and for the first time in 15 years, the NASCAR Xfinity Series on Saturday, September 6th. Don't be on the outside looking in. See history being made in your own backyard. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And we're back here at Iowa. The pace lights are off. We're going to go green with about 49 laps to go. It's Jake Connor, Jacob Adams, Josh Clark, Alec Daffin, and Drew King, the top 5. Dustin Dewar, Gavin Hibbs, Connor Thompson, Noah Brown, and Dan Martinez, the rest of your top 10 here. Alayton, what was the ruling on caution number 3?
That's a tally on the 17 of Colbert, just kind of driving through the 80 to Kirk Gibson there.
10-4, so tally to the 17 of Bear. He's still out on the racetrack. Kirk Gibson on pit lane, as is Pierce Hausler, Justin Vandermerle, Dylan Haver, and company. Austin and Avenant also down there. Gil Pocock and Josh Osborne. As we're getting set to go green, pace truck is off. Here we come, back to the green flag this time. Green flag's out. Slow start for the 48 of Adams. Stack up on the high side as well behind King. That was a bit of a royal stack up behind the 34 machine, but nonetheless, everyone else able to work their way on through as everyone looks to find their positioning on the racetrack. We have a battle brewing for the 5th spot behind Josh Clark. It's Dustin Dewar and Alec Daffin right there battling it out with him. That's 3rd through 6th right now on the racetrack. Everyone all together here. Oh, Drew King gets moved up the racetrack. Connor Thompson headed to Aggression City right there.
They almost looked like we were going to be 4 wide for a second, but there's enough room on the track for that, but it's still not something you want to see. The car really likes to go up the track on exit, and if you're 4 wide, you do not have room to do that. If you're 3 wide, you can't really do that very much.
Some of these guys can't even do it 2 or 1 wide, so I'm one of those guys that definitely struggles when it comes to some of these moves. As we see a bit of a battle brewing back here, Gavin Higgins, Jaden Racimus, and a whole lot of other cars currently duking it out for position. Oh, Frank Fody, he is leaning on Caleb P. Cucumber as they get their way on by Joseph Costello and Andrew Hardcastle. Man, this is getting aggressive back here. These guys not given an inch anywhere on this circuit here at Iowa.
Yeah, but they're staying clean, so you can't argue with that too much.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You like what they're doing.
3-4 wide racing, as long as they don't hit each other doing it.
As we watch Connor Thompson nearly get the outside wall, Dustin Dewar slid up ahead of him. It's a bit of a 3-car train up on the top, or it was a moment ago, including Noah Brown, Alec Daffin, Joshua Clark, as everyone trying to work there. Whoa, contact Daffin and Brown as they're 3 wide. That's Josh Clark up on the high side. He's going to lose a little bit of ground here. Dewar going to get put into a sandwich. He's the meat. By the way, a bit of a score update from the hockey game. It is now 2-0. Ottawa Senators lead over the Toronto Maple Leafs with 11:34 to go. Ottawa just scored shorthanded, and it's Dylan Cousins with the goal. There's your sports update here on ERN.
I also want to point out that's Connor Thompson in 7th right now. When he had spun down, hit the pit wall, and was nearly a lap down before that first yellow came out.
He's a bad man right now, driving as good as he is. Up 31 spots from his starting spot as well. So great drive here for Connor Thompson so far. Obviously, don't want to jinx anything yet early on, but if he's able to continue this trend forward, he could be looking at a top 5 finish here tonight, maybe even battling for a podium.
Yeah, and he's not even on a staying out kind of strategy on older tires. His tires are a little older than the newest, but only by like 1 yellow. He pit off of the Vandermeer Netcode yellow versus someone like Dan Martinez right behind him who pit on the previous yellow with Colbert and Kirk Gibson. Gavin Higgins going for a big slide job there. Just barely manages to keep it out of other cars.
I have a quick question for neighbor Pete if he's listening. We had our lyricist make a song for tonight's intro, and it mentioned something about you making bread. Are you a baker, sir? Let us know in the YouTube chat if you do tend to bring bread to your neighbors, because that's a little bit of a weird thing, but nonetheless, neighbor Pete's a pretty cool guy. Check him out at neighbor Pete in your neighborhood.
I think we just passed the halfway mark.
We did.
Roughly.
We are at the halfway point as of now. A couple lap cars just up the road here from Jay Connor. That's Frank Fody that has just gone a lap down. And not too long ago, he was involved in 3 and 4 wide racing. And man, he's lost a lot of pace. So something is amiss with that 41 machine here, Alayton. Looks like the left front suspension has collapsed on that machine as well, just the way that it's sitting. So he's definitely taken an impact at some point. We'll see if he's able to get it back to pit lane, because he is dangerously slow right now, and that is quite uncommon for the driver of that number 41 machine.
Yeah, it's uncommon for him to be slow, but it seems unfortunately common for him to be involved in getting caught up in something. So
I guess one Fody has to have bad luck sometimes. I mean, Tyler always seems to have the good luck. Yeah, he just has a horseshoe deep up inside, but he's got to give some to his old man. I mean, Frank's working hard out here. He's driving hard, doing a great job, and just luck never on his side. He's still going, though, hoping for a caution in that 41 car is Frank Fody. And we have a battle brewing for the race lead here. Gavin Hibbs is very quickly chasing down the vehicle of Jay Connor. And, well, he's no longer chasing him down. He is there. He is on the inside. They're going to be side by side for the top spot. Hibbs opts better of that, gets back in line. Of course, they do have a very hard-charging Jacob Adams right behind them as well. So one little slip up, and all of a sudden you're allowing that third-place car of Adams to work his way into that top spot. And that's what neither of these guys want. They don't want Adams to get up there and battle for that top spot with them. As now Hibbs going to take over the race lead as we're just over 30 laps to go. Gavin Hibbs, Jake Connor, Jacob Adams, your top three have pulled away by 1.5 seconds over Alec Daffin. Noah Brown there with Daniel Martinez, Gavin Higgins, Josh Clark, Chris Albrecht, and Sean Leisure all inside your top 10 as the battle's on for second. Adams to the inside of Connor. There's Fody going another lap down. Just unfortunate. And neighbor Pete says, I don't even use the grill. Well, how do you come to the neighborhood barbecues then, neighbor Pete? You're going to lose your neighbor title here soon. Uh-oh!
Oh, that's going to cause yellow. Oh, no. I think we just missed Harrison Talon getting nailed.
Yeah, Harry, I think Harry definitely got nailed there. Just Costello going to be involved. P. Cucumber also going to be involved in this one. See what happens. Looks like Dave Carpenter comes down from the high lane, gets into both Andrew Hardcastle and Harrison Talon. That's going to collect Jaden Racimus just a little bit. The 60 of Costello going to get a piece of that. Let's watch Talon here because he's going to get absolutely murdered, I do believe.
Just barely avoids it. That is
Shay
very
Mitchell.
close.
Good job, Shay. You know what we got? We got to go on board here with the old Mitch man. I think Huck moving him up the racetrack into the wall might have saved him from being involved in this incident, to be honest. As Shay going to come around. Oh. I mean, I kind of question at this point why he's still steering towards the one machine. But then he makes a great move and goes around him. So I give him credit. It also didn't need to be as dramatic as it was right there. But nonetheless, Shay Mitchell avoids that incident. Jaden Racimus and Shay Mitchell both staying out at this point. Taking a look at pit strategy, it's been a long time since they've been down pit road. We'll see if they pit on this lap. This may be a ploy just to get a lap lead bonus point for Jaden Racimus and Shay Mitchell, but we'll see what they opt to do here in just a moment. And
Yeah,
no.
I think.
Oh, yes. That's going to be
think
a
I'm
black
going
flag,
to-
though, on Shay Mitchell, though, Alayton, as Jaden Racimus. Jaden kind of caused that black flag because he waited so late and then came down behind Shay Mitchell onto pit lane. So probably a passing under yellow for the Shay Mitchell machine. But go ahead.
I don't actually see any black flags for anyone right now. But
Well, then we're good.
I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to call that incident a racing deal. It's just a lot of cars side by side, and just no one did anything egregiously wrong. So no tag for that one.
Is Jay Connor hanging out in the Discord currently? He is not. I was told that Jay Connor does all of the smoking for the neighborhood, so he uses smokers, so that means neighbor Pete doesn't have to grill. Guys, let me know what's the best thing that Jay smokes on his smoker. I'm a big brisket guy myself. I enjoy smoking a nice brisket out on the wood chips and making it taste really good and smell good. What's your go-to, Alayton? Are you a barbecue guy? Are you a smoker?
I don't do barbecue myself. I do live in Kansas City, so there's a lot of barbecue here, but don't really eat it that often.
So Alayton Norgard, our resident vegan, up here in the Elite Racing Network booth.
Yeah, I posted a picture of my dinner that is definitely not vegan.
He had tofu, guys. Shame him in the YouTube chat. Shame. Shame. No, it's all right. He did have a good look. You had the Chinese food, didn't you?
It was actually more Hawaiian inspired.
Hawaiian. All we have Hawaiian up here is pizza, which is damn good. Get your pineapples on that. Pineapple pizza, the best
If you
in
want
the
me
biz.
to argue, I'm not, because I enjoy pineapple and pizza as
No,
well.
I also enjoy pineapple pizzas. We're back under green. Gavin Hibbs likes pineapple on his pizza. As well, screw the green. We're gonna go into yellow.
34.
Miguel Carrera,
51,
Drew
81.
King, Scott got shivved right there. Oh, Andrew Hardcastle gonna get into Drew King. That's Royal Punishment coming up for the 22 machine of Hardcastle. I think he. 34 definitely comes down. Yeah, that's pretty clear. 34 comes down.
Finally.
That sends him up. He's going to collect, unfortunately, Miguel Carrera, who had a great run in race number 1, top 10 in that one. And some netcode might come into play here as well. As King slides up, collects Shiv, collects Carrera. That's going to put us under caution, I believe, for the 5th time in this one. Yeah, 5th time with 26 laps to go, coming to 25. Not bad, guys. You're doing some pretty good work out here on the racetrack. And so Jay Connor is good at pulled pork and brisket. Yes. What's your thoughts on pulled pork, Alayton Norgard?
I'm a fan.
You questioned that right there.
No, I didn't.
Okay, all right. It's hard to tell sometimes because Alayton Norgard, it doesn't get overly excited. Just nice and calm. It's good.
I was looking at the incident that happened.
Oh yes, race control duties. Yes, I forgot you had to do that. My bad.
Now I've forgotten who it even was. The
Drew
34
King.
of Drew King kind of turned down pretty
Here, hold
aggressively.
Andrew Hardcastle, it's Robert up in the booth. You get a copy?
Yep.
You were just involved in an incident there with Royalty. What happened from your point of view?
I was going, and then he was just kind of sideways all of a sudden off my bumper, and I don't know if I came up. Like, I have no idea what happened. Just all of a sudden he was dying over there.
From our point of view, looked like the 34 came down a couple of lanes. Well, from my point of view anyways, not going to speak for Alayton as our race controller. We'll hear his opinion shortly. But you're currently sitting 16th. That's just outside the top 15 if you didn't math that right. What do you need to do to get up in the top 10?
We just need a little bit longer green flag runs. I think I got the speed to definitely get top 10, maybe top 5 if we can get a little bit more runs here, but the racing in mid-pack is kind of insane with how big this group is and how good everybody's been kind of holding their lines when we had green flag runs, so it's been fun.
You have a bit of a retro vibe going on with that paint scheme tonight. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, it's a scheme I made for the 87 cars way back when we ran a different league for that, and I decided to carry it over because I generally like the design of it with the kind of color change blue that I made, so I wanted to bring it back.
Well, Andrew, 1 to green. We'll go ahead and get you back down to your team, but any sponsors you want to shout out here?
Just myself with my paint booth on the hood, and the Abbott guys as well. We're having a blast down there, and it's been fun.
We'll get you back down to the team. Good luck here. We'll hopefully see you in the top 10 towards the end of this.
Thanks.
That's Mr. Sandcastle himself, Andrew Hardcastle. Why don't we go ahead and get a ruling here from Race Control?
I'm thinking I'm going to call that a racing deal. I don't think Drew King knew that Andrew had a car below him and couldn't turn down as much as he might have expected him to. So effectively 3 wide, but only 2 wide to Drew. So he didn't have all the information he needed to avoid that necessarily. So I'll call it a racing deal.
Racing deal it is as we're back on our green. Gavin Hibbs with a good launch. Dan Martinez with a pretty good launch on the inside as well. He's going to stay side by side. Going to fall back just a little bit to that left rear quarter panel now of the Gavin Hibbs machine. That's Jay Connor, the barbecue extraordinaire, up on the high side, battling it out with him as well. Pierce Hausler just left pit lane. He's going to rejoin the field many laps down after extensive damage on that 61 car. Well, David Woods has turned himself into a stick here as we're under caution. The 6th caution of the day. Harrison Talon also going to be involved. And I believe that was Kurt Gibson and Jaden Racimus going to get a piece. A lot of these guys going to get involved in this one. Let's see what just happened. Ooh. We'll jump up here to David Woods, which is where the caution, I do believe, starts, and he may have lost it by himself up on the high lane. Yeah, he comes down into Carlos Acosta, down into Joseph Costello. That's going to collect a couple of other cars, including Harrison Talon, Dominic Wright, and Jaden Racimus. So under caution again, and another big one. As we'll step aside, 20 to go. We'll be right back with the conclusion of this one. I want to be Neighbor Pete. Do you want to be Neighbor Pete? Everyone wants to be Neighbor Pete here on ERN.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And we are back here at Iowa. Just smell that corn in the air, boys, as it is 18 laps to go. Kevin Hibbs, Jay Connor, Daniel Martinez, Kevin Higgins, and Jacob Adams, your top 5. Alec Daffin, Sean Leisure, Chris Albrecht, Noah Brown, and the Dragon, Dusty Dewar, up inside the top 10. Josh Clark, 11th. Michael Hosick in 12th. Dave Carpenter, 13th. Timothy Watson in 14th, Andrew Hardcastle 15th, Mitch Haver in 16th, Gavin Grubb 17th, Caleb Kumer 18th, Carlos Costa 19th, 20th is Corey Abbott, Dave Huckleberry 21st, David Woods 22nd, Colbert 23rd, not Stephen Colbert, but Colbert in the 17, Dominic Wright 24th, Joseph Costello 25th, and your last lead lap car that is currently on the racetrack is Connor Thompson in 26th. Alayton Norgard, what is the ruling on the latest incident here at the Iowa Speedway in the RevLimit Workshop Development Series presented by DesignPing in the Elite Racing League on the Elite Racing Network here on this Tuesday, April the 29th of 2025?
You missed the hour, minute, and second of the date.
The current hour is 9:39 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
The tally is on the 98 of David Woods. Just doesn't really ever stop turning coming off the corner until he's already come across the nose of the O2 of Carlos Acosta and just takes that whole thing off.
So sticking Woods with a tally as we're backing our way. Jay Connor, well, he might have been munching on some pulled pork there because he was definitely not restarting. He loses a lot of ground on this restart. He's all the way side by side with Alec Daffin. Gavin Higgins up to that second spot. Kid Wonder up to the second position, trying to be the top Gavin of the day as Hibbs currently holding that spot. Higgins second, Daffin, Connor, and Martinez. There's not two Connors up front, unless you include Connor Thompson, who's back there in 20th. But these guys doing a nice job. 15 to go, coming to 14. Jacob Adams in the outside wall. Chris Albrecht just behind him. Dan Martinez bottoming out in car 83, currently holding on to 4th. And what a drive by Martinez, a driver that wasn't here for Darlington tonight. But I guess that doesn't matter as we're under caution. And
that's a 98 involved.
David
again.
Woods involved, Colbert involved, Dave Huckleberry involved. A couple of guys we've seen involved in a couple of incidents here tonight, involved in this one. And it looks like it's triggering around the 17 of
that's
Colbert.
just Huck driving up into the rear of David Woods.
Ooh, 52 gonna spike him like a football. Sends that 98 of David Woods around. Collects Justin Vandermaro, collects Colbert, and that puts us under caution once again. 13 to go. It's a bit of a rough go here for some of these guys towards the rear. Some aggression coming into play, some miscues when it comes to positioning on the racetrack as well. But that's the joy of a development series here in the RevLimit Workshop Development Series presented by DesignPing, is you're going to make those mistakes, and there's a little bit more forgiveness and opportunity to recover from something like that. You're not necessarily going to sour everyone's opinion right away of you. You have those chances to come back and continue to improve and grow. And we're going to restart with about 10 to go, probably 9 to go here in this one. It's been a great night here in the I Want to Be Neighbor Pete events here, the doubleheader. But coming up on the schedule here, Alayton Norgard, we have some pretty good races looking ahead. We're going to pull up the schedule here real quick behind the scenes. We're going to be off next week, but we'll come back May the 13th over in Japan. So we need the week off to put these cars in shipping containers and head to what is now known as Mobility Resort Motegi for a 90-lap duel over there. Then we're going to head to the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course for a 1-hour dash in the sunrise. Then following that event, May 27th, will be the Ole Higgins Truck and 50 at Richmond Raceway. And that's actually going to be a double header for that one. It'll be Richmond Raceway first, then Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway, which will be right afterwards. And we'll wrap up the regular season at the Nashville Super Speedway. Then we'll start the playoffs June 10th at the Kansas Speedway, followed by a 1-hour race at Lime Rock Park. Worldwide Technology Raceway Gateway, going to be our third race of the first round of playoffs. 1 month off, by the way, there between June 17th and July 15th. Then 2 weeks later, we'll go to Daytona to wrap up the first round of playoffs, and we'll wrap up our season August the 5th at Michigan with our championship race over there. And the schedule, by the way, for 26A is currently in the works, and I'm going to drop a little teaser here. I know you've already seen this, Alayton Norgard, a couple other people have. We're going to have an exhibition race for that series. It's going to be in California. It's going to be at Sonoma, but it's not going to be at the Sonoma you're thinking of. We're going to jump these cars, Alayton Norgard. We're going to go to Sonoma Rally and beat the crap out of these race cars.
I can see nothing that could possibly go wrong taking these cars off of a rallycross jump.
Back in the 3-Wide Racing League, the Inzra and Real Graphics Truck Series, back 6 years ago, we took trucks to Sonoma Rally. It was a heck of a good time there. We're going to do it. It's going to be a short exhibition race, just like we took it to Monza Oval this year. And then we'll open our season, of course, at Daytona, and a couple different tracks going to be on the schedule this year. Legacy Texas, Legacy Atlanta, and Legacy Phoenix on there. Portland also going to be included. And we're going to go back to the dirt at some point next season as well. We're currently contemplating a couple racetracks, but currently leaning towards Volusia to be the racetrack that we get down and dirty in these ARCA cars. As we come back to the green flag, 9 laps to go. It's Gavin and Gavin on the front row. I could have just said Gavin up there, and I would have not been wrong. As Gavin Hibbs leads us into turn number 1, Gavin Higgins going to slot in behind him. Dan Martinez takes it to the inside. That's a tight 3 wide, almost 4 there. Dusty Dewar into the outside wall. Sean Leisure nearly into Dusty Dewar as he's going to slide up the track. Josh Clark going to be right behind him as these guys using every inch of this racetrack right now. I'm going to try to get high above and just show what some of these battles are looking like from above. And it is sketchy right now, as we'll go back up to that second place battle between Gavin Higgins and Deanna Martinez. Martinez closing in that fight. Jacob Adams taking a look to the inside. Alec Daffin up. Oh my gosh, that got real close. Adams took it in very, very tight. Slid up the track nearly into Daniel Martinez. And things are looking a little sketchy here towards the outside of that top 5. It doesn't matter now as we're under caution. That is Dave Carpenter, David Woods, I believe that to be Kurt Gibson. Just got a piece of that one as well. And let's see what happens here in this incident, Mr. Norgard. And it looks like Mitch Haver may have gotten into Andrew Hardcastle. Let's back that one up to the Hardcastle machine. There was a little incident just ahead of these guys with Caleb Becumer and the 43 of Watson. But Hardcastle gets clipped by Haver up into Carpenter, and then Carpenter going to come down the track, collects a couple other guys in this one. Actually, yeah, he's going to collect David Woods, who's going to come in a little bit late to this incident. Woods into the Carpenter machine, down the track, collects Kurt Gibson. Those guys both likely done for the day. And we are quickly approaching overtime territory, but this should be a regulation restart coming up with Hibbs, Higgins, Martinez, Daffin, and Adams, your top 5.
Yeah, I think this incident's fairly clear cut, just with Mitch Haver getting into the corner too hot, and forcing Andrew Hardcastle up into the 71.
So we're gonna race.
Thing
Go ahead.
that I need to look at is David Woods coming into this a little late, but it's probably not going to be a problem.
I think it was probably within the parameters, if I'm honest with you. I don't believe that he came in too late to it. It was just unfortunately not much space to work with and just kind of getting caught up in it. A couple guys to note just outside the top 10 at this point in the race. Josh Clark in 11th, Michael Hosick in the 12th spot. Timothy Watson, we saw him involved in an earlier incident. He's currently sitting 13th. Caleb Pecumer 14th, and Mitch Haver in 15th. So some really strong guys just outside the top 10. Corey Abbott up to 16th, by the way. That's plus 23 positions on the evening. So good to see him moving his way forward. By the way, for the Toronto Maple Leafs fans, such as David Woods, the Toronto Maple Leafs have just lost in game number 5. The series that was 3-0 is now 3-2, with the Ottawa Senators winning this one 4-0. So comeback season is in full swing.
So the tally is officially on the 58. Hadn't actually called it before I was talking about it being clear cut, but that's done now. I think we're coming to 1 to go here.
We will.
So we will.
Natural green white checker.
Green white checker, yeah.
Yeah, so a natural GWC coming up here if the lights go off in the iRacing.com pace car, which they do. Pace car, I'm surprised didn't shoot itself to the moon or something with how crazy some of the stuff we've seen tonight has been. But Gavin Hibbs and Gavin Higgins going to be on the front row with 2 laps to go. Alayton Norgard, I'm going to ask you this now. Who was your pick to win this one earlier? I don't remember.
It was Dan Martinez in 3rd place right now.
He's still going strong in 3rd. My guy's in 5th, and Jacob Adams. Do you want to hold on to Dan Martinez, or do you want to change it up?
I mean, I think the one in position to win this right now is Gavin Hibbs. It's his to lose. He's controlling the restart. He's got the outside. It's very difficult to pass on the inside, especially when the outside car gets the jump here on their start. So, I mean, if I can change, I'll take Gavin Hibbs all day.
It's a good pick, but I think you're wrong. I'm going to go Alec Daffin. I think Daffin's got a shot to get up there and battle it for the win. We'll see. And as I say that, Jacob Adams gets to his inside, and Jay Connor almost hooks him as they head down the back. Well, there goes Daffin.
He gets hooked by Jacob Adams.
So it's not a good day to be a pick of mine as they just hooked each other right there. Alec Daffin going to go around off of Jacob Adams. So let's take a look at this one. This was tight racing. Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, Jacob could have given him more room, but he did have enough room.
As a viewer of this one, this to me is the definition of a racing deal where they're just racing hard. They come together. Stuff happens. But of course, this is the call of race control. We'll see what Alayton Norgard opts to do. Could put blame on one or another. But one thing I can confirm, and I can make the call on, is this will be the first of our green-white checkered overtime attempts here at the Iowa Speedway.
And yeah, I agree with that being a racing deal. Like I said, Jacob could have left him more room. He did leave him enough room. just trying to get every inch as possible, still racing fair. So just unfortunate deal for Alec Daffin, to be sure.
Yeah, it sucks for Daffin. He was having a good run there, and this is a guy that I think we're going to be talking about for quite a while here, as long as he sticks around in the Elite Racing League. Very strong competitor, very good drive here tonight in both races, and someone to look to bounce back in the upcoming events here in the series.
Yeah, there are a lot of drivers in this series that we haven't seen in the rest of Elite that I think are going to definitely make a more of a splash in future seasons.
A couple of those drivers, Alayton, that, you know, I'm going to include Sean Leisure in this. Not that he's a new driver, because Sean was around in the Elite Racing League 6 years ago, back in 2019 when I started over here. But Sean Leisure, a guy definitely to watch. I think once he gets his feet back under him, it's been a while, he's been away. This is going to be a guy you're going to see contending for wins in trucks and a Grand National and eventually the Cup Series as well. Chris Albrecht's a guy that's really taken that step forward. We're going to see him continue to develop in the other series as well. Noah Brown, a driver I've seen in other leagues, he can be aggressive, but he's got some really good skills as well, and he's someone to watch develop for quite a bit. Timothy Watson, I believe I've raced with him before, if it's the same Timothy Watson I'm thinking of. And this guy knows how to drive. He's just got to get his feet back under him once again as well. And we're going to see him grow for quite some time. And Alec Daffin, we mentioned him. I believe in this guy. I don't even know him, Alayton, and just the way that I've seen him drive tonight and in some past events, I think Alec Daffin going to be a guy that could definitely develop into someone to watch here in the Elite Racing League. But 1 to green, lights are off on the pace car. This is the first official green-white checkered attempt. Of course, the previous one was a natural green-white checker. This is overtime, and there's up to 3 attempts at this. Hopefully we don't need it, and the way the guys have driven in this race here at Iowa, I'm going to call it. We're not going to need more than 1 overtime attempt.
Yeah, I think there's a pretty good chance we get the run to the checkered here. And I just want to say I agree with you on Sean Leisure kind of counting as one of these drivers that hasn't really been in the upper levels of Elite yet, because the Elite that Chad Frankenfield would win a championship in is very different from the Elite of today. So,
ouch. Man, that's rough, but it's true. It's taken such a step forward.
Jump from Gavin Hibbs here, almost side by side with Gavin Higg.
Well, it doesn't matter. Everyone's dead, buddy. Everyone's dead right here. Alec Daffin again. Oh no. Jay Connor involved. Corey Abbott. I want to say one thing. If there's one guy
Chase Carr spins a lot.
If there's one guy that that's had bad luck more than anything else, I didn't like that. Dusty goes to go for it. Jay doesn't really give him the bottom lane, and that just sends Jay Connor for a bit of a ride, sends him back up the racetrack too. And Caleb Pecumer, he crapped his pants, I'm sure, right there, as everyone else going to get involved in this one. That was a huge impact. We're going to go on board in just a second with Pecumer. I don't think he had any idea what was about to happen to him, what was about to insert itself into him as he works his way down the front stretch. Let's go on board here with Caleb Pecumer. You see Jay go, but you lose him behind the pillar, and all of a sudden, bam.
And the thing about this incident is it's both Dusty Dewar going down for the move and then Jay Connor going for kind of a late block. So
hold up.
They both do something that's not ideal.
I just want to see something, because something just stood out to me here. I'm watching that orange tape on the wheel. So he goes down to the inside. They make a little bit of contact. I guess not. From the first... Oh, it's his gloves. That's what it is. Okay. At first, it looked like the orange tape's like kind of swiped to the right, but that's the design on the gloves that Dusty Door's utilizing in iRacing. So, no, he did not intentionally just wreck Jay Connor. So, all is good there.
My issue right now is that
walk us through this, Elaine. What do you think?
Something like this a racing deal when so many other cars get impacted like that, but at the same time, if it's a racing deal, it's a racing deal, right?
Yeah, I mean, if it's a racing deal, it's a racing deal. They both kind of played a part in that, and Jay came down, Dusty stayed where he was.
Well, I mean, Dusty was moving the whole time. Jay was moving the whole time. Kind of moved a little bit behind where Dusty was is the problem.
Man, we've lost a lot of cars here. Like, Alec Daffin has died twice. He's still out there in 23rd.
I mean, there's still 21 on the lead lap. We've been down to like 12 before.
Yeah, still kind of a big chaotic mess. Gavin Hibbs, Gavin Higgins, Jacob Adams, Dana Martinez, Dusty Door, the top 5. Chris Albrecht Albrecht 5th, Doer 6th, Leisure up there with Noah Brown, Timothy Watson, and Michael Hosick inside the top 10. Then it's Mitch Haver, Josh Clark, Carlos Acosta, Connor Thompson, Dominic Wright, Cole Bear, Dave Carpenter, Harrison Talon, Dave Tuckleberry, Shea Mitchell, and Gavin Grubbs, the only guys on the lead lap. And then Alec Daffin still running. That's about it on this racetrack. And Pierce Hausler 13 laps down. As we're coming to the green flag this time, Gavin and Gavin, Jake and Dan, and the rest of these fine folks are coming back to the green flag. By the way, thanks for hanging out with us here tonight. It's been a long one, and we're glad that you've been along for the ride, keeping us company. Good jump by the Gavins here, Alayton. They're doing a nice job working their way into 1 and 2. Higgins trying to get that run towards the top side. Hibbs going to slide up, and we're under caution once again. Where?
Vandermeer was slow. I don't know that he was necessarily involved in it, though.
Looks like it might involve Dave Huckleberry.
Oh, yeah, Vandermeer did go around. Oh, Dave, you're going to get parked on the last lap.
Yeah, Dave. Oh. Kind of a repeat of what happened earlier with Dave. He gets into the left rear quarter panel of Justin Vandermeer, sends him around, and that puts us under caution once again. And this is kind of a rivalry that's brewing now, Alayton. These guys have gotten together a little bit here tonight. I know Vandermeer was a little upset with Huckleberry in race number 1 tonight, and now this happens here. So potentially something to keep an eye on throughout the season. And for Dave, well, I think he's got his first rival in the Elite Racing League. Is Gavin and Gavin going to lead us to the final restart on this one? Dan Martinez, Jacob Adams, Sean Leisure still up there in the top 5. As somebody just got a wave around. I believe that was Alec Daffin. So Daffin coming back to the lead lap. We're going to have 22 on the lead lap. I think make that 21 because Alayton, I believe that's tally number 2 for Huckleberry. Is that correct? Alayton's busy doing race control work here.
Yeah, that tally is going on the 52 of Huckleberry.
Dave going to take it pitch side. Not appealing? Is that safe to assume?
He hasn't said anything.
So Huckleberry going to pull it pit side. The Purdue machine has called it an evening. Not by choice, but he's going to pull it in and take it back into the big box. As we're 1 to green for the final time here tonight. I can honestly say that, Alayton. This will be the final restart of the night. Can we make it those 2 laps? Can we finish under green? What do you think?
There's no reason we shouldn't be able to. That being said, I wouldn't put money on making it to the checkered flag this time.
I think we make it to the white flag, which allows them to race it out to the end, but I don't think everyone makes it back to the start finish line. As we're coming to the green flag this time, it's Hibbs on the outside, Higgins on the inside. Hibbs, the control car. As green flags back out, we're back underway. Bit of a slow start for Higgins on the inside. That allows Jacob Adams to get to his outside. Watching a couple of these guys just outside the top 10, mixing it up. We're 2 by 2 up here towards the front as well. It's Dan Martinez on the inside of Jacob Adams. Adams going to send it deep. Will we get to the white flag as we come off turn number 4?
Great tire sliding.
Colbert is wrecking in the back, but we're at the white flag. We're going to stay green. Hopefully he gets the heck off the racetrack.
The 43 loses it in turn 1.
Timothy Watson going to gather it up as we head down the back straightaway for the final time through turns number 3 and 4. The Hibbs design number 96 for Fueled Up Racing. Gavin Hibbs going to go to victory lane as he gets the checkered flag. Battle for third to the line. It's going to be Dan Martinez just edging out Jacob Adams. Sean Leisure going to come home in 5th. Dustin Dewar in 6th. Noah Brown 7th. Michael Hosick 8th. Josh Clark in 9th and 10th. to Chris Albrecht, who's already parked it. Tim Watson 11th. Carlos Acosta with a good run in 12th. Dominic Wright, Harrison Talon, and Mitch Haver the top 15. Dave Carpenter, Shea Mitchell, Connor Thompson, Gavin Grubbs, and Alec Daffin your top 20. As Gavin Hibbs is going to come around, he's going to burn it down. Celebrations for the Hibbs design number 96. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll talk to Hibbs, Higgins, and Martinez right here on ERN.
3 years of sellout crowds, 3 years of edge-of-your-seat action, 3 years of jaw-dropping finishes. Worldwide Technology Raceway has rocked the world of NASCAR, and now NASCAR is giving us another reason to celebrate. The 2025 NASCAR Cup Series Championship Playoffs are coming. Sunday, September 7th, 2025. Just when you thought the racing couldn't get any more intense, now every single lap matters. One wrong move could be the difference between elimination and being crowned the king. The Enjoy Illinois 300, the Confluence Music Festival, the NASCAR Cup Series Playoffs, and for the first time in 15 years, the NASCAR Xfinity Series on Saturday, September 6th. Don't be on the outside looking in. See history being made in your own backyard. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And we're back here at Iowa, just wrapping up another fun event here. The I Want to Be Neighbor Pete corn hunting festivity here at the Iowa Speedway. We're going to go ahead and throw it over to Alayton Norgard, standing by with our third place finisher, Danny Martinez.
Dan Martinez, Alayton, you're up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, man.
That was definitely a race. Was keeping an eye on you early in the race as you were my race pick to win, actually. And you got out to an early lead, but then you kind of dropped back running on the bottom. Were you kind of hoping to have an opportunity to go for more of a conservative tire saving strategy here tonight?
Yeah, it was definitely a thought. I knew giving up the right rear was going to probably hurt me, but once I got to the bottom, it was just I didn't want to kill my tires in case it went long, and then I just kind of got pinned back there when we started having cautions. I felt good. Otherwise, was just really wish we could have raced it out there at any point. But overall, I felt good. Was just playing it safe once I got pinned on the bottom.
Yeah, we only got a handful of 10-ish lap runs, but did you feel like there was enough time for some decent racing at least?
I think once tires maybe dropped off a little bit, it might have been okay. It's just it was so top dominant. It was really going to be hard for it to make any moves on the bottom stick unless you had a tire advantage. So it would have been really hard to see any consistent good racing, but with tire fall off, it might have come in.
Yeah. Did you, were any of those earlier restarts before this last one, any of the earlier green-white checkers, did you feel like you had enough of a jump to get maybe second from Higgins, or were they all kind of the same for you?
For the most part, they were the same. There was a couple that I felt really good about my jumps, and had it gone green, I would have felt like I at least had a shot at it. But just being on the bottom is such a disadvantage. Anything short of a perfect jump was just going to put me behind, and I could never restart fourth really when I wanted to, which would have put me in the best spot, I thought. But yeah, for where I was, I thought I was getting probably the best I could out of it.
Yeah, well, we're off for a week and then going to Motegi for round 6. Is that a good track for you, or something kind of new, or what are your hopes for that?
I generally enjoy racing that track. My success there is up and down, but overall, I personally enjoy the track. Hopefully when we get there, we actually get to, do some actual racing for once, but we'll have to wait and see.
All right, well, before we let you go, any sponsors you want to thank or shout-outs you want to give?
Yeah, a big thank you to Fueled Up Racing for consistently, letting me race for them, and their support. Much appreciated to them as always. Justin Vandermeerl for making the paint scheme. And my mom, I know who's watching and always watches. And thank, you guys and all our sponsors that help let us put on the best show we can.
All right, well, thanks for joining us, and good luck next race at Motegi, and congratulations on the 3rd place finish.
Thanks, guys.
That was Dan Martinez, your 3rd place finisher. Now I'm going to go ahead and talk with Gavin Higgins. Hey, Gavin, it's Robert up in the booth. You get a copy?
Yep.
You brought it home second here tonight, your first top 5 of the season. Why don't you walk us through this one? And did you have anything else to potentially get up there and battle with Gavin if this would have went green a little bit longer towards the end?
I might have. I mean, him running, I think it was low side in 1 and 2. That definitely helped me a little bit, but it's really hard to pass here on the bottom. I mean, I don't remember the last time we ran on the high side here and was able to actually race, and it wasn't just for saving tires. But yeah, I don't know if I would have had anything else for him.
Now, tonight was both races were sponsored as I Want to Be Neighbor Pete. So tell us a little bit about Neighbor Pete and why he's so important to the Elite Racing League.
Well, I really don't know. I mean, Jade told me to shout him out one night, and it just grew from there. And he had surgery a few weeks ago, so hope he's getting better. And yeah, it's really it.
Looking ahead, Gavin, we're headed to Motegi next round. Do you think that's a racetrack that maybe you can battle it out for the victory and park yourself in victory lane for the first time this season?
I don't think I ever raced there, so I don't even have a clue what that track is.
Well, it's an oval in Japan, so just practice your Japanese, eat a little bit of sushi, and you'll be good to go. Before we let you go, any sponsors you want to thank, shout-outs you want to give, my friend?
No sponsors. Shout out Neighbor Pete. Like I said, he had surgery, so he's getting better. Jay for racing with me tonight, and Brandon too. I don't know what his deal was, but shout out to him too. My mom, dad, brother, sister's birthday today, so got a nice top 2 for her, and my grandparents for watching, and you guys for doing this.
Well, Gavin, congratulations on the finish here tonight. Happy birthday to your sister, and we'll see you in 2 weeks at Motegi.
Thanks.
It's Gavin Higgins, your runner-up here tonight. And, well, we're going to stick with Gavin's here, and we'll send it back to Alayton Norgard, who is in victory lane with Gavin Hibbs.
Hey, Gavin, Alayton up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
It was a interesting night here. A lot of yellows, a lot of chaos, but you kind of found your way to the front both races. You want to walk us through this last one?
Yeah, that was. So, I had to play with a little bit of strategy here in race 2, but just really it was all about if you could run that top line, if you can get up to the front, you can just stay up there, and kind of got lucky early in the race where some guys stayed out, some guys pitted, and was able to benefit. Took 2 tires only tonight in race 2, but just got lucky with how it played out and how the yellows laid out. That's pretty much sums it up.
So as a racer, I know we want to run competitive laps, but do you feel like you were better off having all of these yellows, or do you think you still would have had this in the bag if we had longer green runs?
I think race 2, I think it's a little mix of both because, like I said, the early yellow, forced us to be splits on strategy. So yellow helped out me there, and Darlington, I felt like if we stayed green the whole race, I felt like I could have had a chance to sweep the night. But it's just one of those things where if this happens, or it's a what if scenario, but it's unfortunate at the end of the day, but you just got to move on from it and focus on next week.
So speaking of next week, we're at Motegi, kind of a flatter Japanese Darlington. How do you feel about your chances there? Do you think it's going to be cleaner racing than we saw here this week?
I think I'm very excited for Motegi next week, and I think with how the setup is, I've only driven a few laps with it, and with how it feels, I feel like we could be a little bit more spread out than what we usually be at somewhat larger tracks. With the car not being battling a super tight race car, but I think those questions will be answered next week. But I'm very excited for Motegi.
All right. Well, before we let you go, any sponsors you want to thank or shout outs you want to give?
Shout out Strictly Stock Motorsports. It's a big night for us as we kind of technically swept the races. Joe is racing under a different banner, but me and him have been racing together for a long time, and to see him win one is very exciting, and to be a part of a sweep tonight for the team is huge, and just got to give my team a shout out. That's all.
All right. Well, congrats on your second win of the season, and good luck at Motegi in a couple weeks.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
That's Gavin Hibbs, your winner here tonight, Alayton. We were just advised to check out another incident that happened just before the tail end of this race. So I want to see if we can get a look at that. I'm not sure. Involves, I believe, Mitch Veer potentially, not Shane Mitchell. Somebody and Colbert. Yeah, right here. Here we go. Yeah, Colbert was... He was broke. Let's take a look at this one. Cole kind of comes down.
That's a bit of a send.
Mitch sends it, but Cole comes down as well. I mean,
I mean, with
Yeah.
the difference in speed, I can understand Cole going down when Mitch is still a car or more away.
Yeah, Mitch sent it pretty deep there, but that call's going to be on you. But let's get some final thoughts before we head off for the final time here tonight.
It was definitely a messy night. I'm hoping we have a cleaner race at Motegi. It's kind of lends itself to spreading out a bit more. Very wide turn 1 and 2 there. But these are a couple of good tracks that we ran here tonight. Had some racing that was pretty good. Had, especially at Iowa, we had those 3-4 wide laps at a time that made for some exciting racing. Just a few too many yellows, and I think that's the best way to sum up the night. A few too many yellows.
Yeah, I think you worded it well there. So on behalf of Alayton Norgard, Chad Frankville, Dave Huckleberry, everyone here at the Elite Racing Network, my name's Robert Hill Jr. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us, and have a good night.